turn the sound off. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Oh, wait, I gotta pull up my. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. There's gonna be a delay on this. I usually show my delay because I check it in here and I got distracted. Damn. So we'll deal with the delay. Hang on. What is my content? See, wasn't ready. And I always just say Daz. What do you go? Wait, what do you? It's like Dillinger. Like, why are you on Twitter?
Oh no! So the Dillinger bit is because there was a film production when I was at college, and I was the only person that had a BB gun that was suitable. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're obsessed with guns." I had one BB gun in my life, and that was enough.
And
And
you
it
were
just
Dillinger ever
almost
since. That's hilarious.
yeah. But apparently, I didn't know this as well. There is a rapper called Daz Dillinger, and occasionally I get people following me thinking that I'm.
That's funny. Are you a rapper? No, I like miniatures. Erus.
I just
Hi,
yeah
Erus. Thanks for making it. Glad you could
yeah
join us.
yeah. I did notice a lot of hip hop people following me the other week. I guess occasionally he says something the real Daz Dillinger, but I'm the real
Hey,
Daz Dillinger. To be
take the followers any way you can get them.
fair.
Who is this? This is, I always just call him Daz. I have people out here on such
And
short notice and stuff. It's like, I didn't even catch your name and you're coming on the show.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
not Lee.
What are you on Twitter? And do you have Instagram too, right?
Yeah, I think I'm Dillinger 606.
Oh, and I'll show you who he is. Wait, what do I got to scroll through here? I think I got most of the stuff turned off. Okay.
So many pictures.
I know, dude. And I've been
It's good.
taking them off, but I'm trying to find yours. Okay, this is
There's
one
one of
of
mine.
your models, but it doesn't. Oh, I can do this. I took the picture, and it's a crummy picture, but that
Yeah.
was so cool when I seen this. And thanks again. I love that thing. I love the. What is the drip from? Like resin?
Oh, it's a glue. It's all-purpose glue. That's
Oh,
all it is. It's just
cool.
like a clear glue, and then you can tint it like with anything you like. You can make blood effects or just plain saliva
Oh,
as well.
interesting. See, the more you know. So
Yeah,
wait, let me
it's
show you a good. I'll show you one of your good ones that you took a picture of.
a friend of mine won a golden demon with Samus, and he did saliva between the teeth, and it was just fantastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he did this one. God, that thing is cool.
I love that. Yeah.
How long did it take you to do that?
I think the bug took 2 weeks.
Okay, I could totally see it. Yeah.
If I'm in the zone, you can do something
Oh
pretty quick.
yeah, I'm waiting. It's still not comfortable. It's like I have air conditioning and everything on, but it's still not like if I want to sit down to paint and it in painting
Yeah,
because it's something I'm unfamiliar with and it's getting out paint, it's mixing the paint, it's you know what I mean, all that little like digital. It's like I turn on the screen, I turn off the screen, and it's saved. You know what I mean? Nothing's dry, so like I can I can work for like an hour. You know what I mean? It's like oh okay, I got to stop for 20 minutes and do something and come right back, and it fits
yeah.
how I work. And so I'm always like. I don't know if it's like half petrified. It'll be like a little too hot. I'm like, I don't think I feel like sitting there. So I think I got like mental excuses. I'm like, yeah. But seeing
Sometimes an hour's enough.
yeah,
An hour is just enough to get it out your system, and then you can carry on doing what you need to do.
and I think by I hang out in the Discord and I see like everyone working on stuff, and obviously like on Twitter too, where I see a ton of pictures. And when you watch a while, it's like okay, I watch someone else. I'm like okay, that's kind of how I would paint or how I
Mhm.
approach things, and you like watch it go down, and so I've been like almost like teaching yourself just by kind of watching some.
Oh,
Oh, this
no,
one, this one. It's one of those paint overs where, like, to me, it was like, oh, let me see, time lapse. I love
he's my
the,
favourite.
Yeah, I just love this miniature. I was like, in the colors, I like you kind of use like a muted down color so it looks like it's rooted in the world and being all this funk. You know, it's one of those where you just see
Yeah,
it in
I
my mind
think
and be like, oh, dude, I was like, everything's all corrupt. It's like, I don't want to be like sloshing around this thing.
I think it's Deathweld Forest. I think that's the green. I can't remember. And I
Okay.
always do this. I never write down my recipes, and I always
Oh,
check.
yeah.
And then by the time I go to do the next thing, I don't know what I've done. Just have
Wait,
to wing it.
and I asked you a question and either I already forgot or I didn't get. What is your name on Twitter and what's your name on Instagram?
So Instagram's Dillinger606, and I
Okay.
think Twitter's the same actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Just as long as that's there in case people want to check out some of your other stuff.
no, thank you. Yeah,
And yeah, those are really cool. I think I didn't put out, usually I'll put out a thing and I didn't know what I was going to work on. And there's a couple I still want to do from a last paint over day, but then I downloaded this thing and I almost want, oh God. I forget, I already forgot whose it was from, but props to whoever this is because this is mad cool. And I was like, man, oh, just that
yeah, that's
light of the wings against the black and then the purple. Oh,
really hot, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. The way the blades are, even the photo looks, is like really good for having, just holding it. Like it fits the angles.
Really clever use of the purples as well. Like, so
Yeah,
when you're that head on, like those swords, they don't
yeah.
get engulfed by the wings.
That's
You
what
can
I
still
know. He's
see
got
it.
the
Really
purple
brightly.
framed by the orange like perfectly on this one. I'm like,
It's
oh, dude,
lovely,
that's
isn't it?
like, yeah. There's so much you could do with this, and as soon as I saw, it, I'm like, oh, do I like? At first, I was like, okay, like a mountain background, but like faded behind smog and stuff. You know what I mean? So like one of those just real simple ones, so you see it behind, and then I didn't know if it would be dark, but I'm like, kind of guess it's got to be evening because you want the purple blade to glow, and then but you want the wings to be yellow and orange to really pop. You know what I mean? So I was like, I didn't want to get lost like orange on orange, but it might be like I don't know, like a brownish background or whatever. I couldn't, but I just love it because then it's like at least if I get some ideas, then I know I'm closer. Like some are just easier to like stay sprout an idea easier, I guess.
There's a lot to cut out there as well, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah,
It's beautiful.
the other thing is. But
I know what the model is now. It's just taking me all this time to work out what model it was.
oh, I don't even know. I saw it like a time or two. Oh, I should have tweeted that I'm on here.
That's from
I'm
the
so
latest
bad with
Warhammer
this
book,
still.
isn't
I didn't tweet out that I'm live or none of that stuff. Oh well, they'll
it?
get the point.
Ah,
Oh
that's great though. So
yeah.
is this a submission from the free paintovers?
No,
Or
that one was literally. Usually they are. This one I just saw on the internet today, and I was like, oh, dude, I gotta grab that just
having
because.
that? Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, oh, where I was gonna work. I want to get this one sorted. This will take. I'm like, oh, I'll work on Lee's. He did the force perspective on a full size Titan, and it's crazy.
That's hard to do. That is
Yeah,
hard.
like
It's great, isn't it?
yeah, that
Well, considering as well, I think isn't it Adaptus Titanicus birthday, and isn't that like
yeah, and they're
thing?
having. Oh yeah, he said Lee knew Titanicus so well. Thank you for reminding me. He said last Wednesday was the anniversary of it going up for order, and then today
Right.
I think is the anniversary of it actually coming out. So I might be
No,
right. So shout
that's
out to
why
Lee,
he's not here
and
tonight. He's celebrating.
yeah, yeah. So we'll work on this Titan some more. You're right, and he said it was 3 years ago.
Christ,
Huh.
yeah, I remember.
Thanks for
I had to
reminding me.
turn up from a shop, and it's the heaviest box in the world. I had to walk it back.
I know. I can't even like to play. Like, I want to. I don't know. See, I haven't played in a while, so I don't know. Like, would this thing even be fun to have in a game in any type of battle scenario? like
I'm
I get it, and I don't want to like people are like, what are you gonna play against that? Like, I guess someone has to have like another one, and then, but like to actually have a battle how it would somewhat play off. I mean, I guess you need a ton of vehicles.
it would
So
have to
I would
be a
be
big.
curious to play and be like, okay, what are you gonna do? Like, how do you even
Yeah,
play with this thing?
I'm really conflicted about the use of Titans because I love them. Like, and I know a lot of people don't like them in games of 40k, but I'm one of those people that love them. So
Oh yeah. Oh
if
god.
you've got it, use it. Good fun.
Okay, but you have fun with it when you play with one in 40k.
Um, so I mean, I've got big knights that people don't like. The Beforian, like people don't like that knight. The rules are disgusting for it in 30k.
Okay.
So when I have had it in a game, um, I've been allowed to bring it in on the fourth turn
Okay.
because
Okay.
otherwise
Yeah. So
sometimes
okay.
there's too much. Like, so if you're playing narrative, then
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Like, I'm cool with units like being destroyed and then being replaced. We've had games with orcs where we just were recycling each unit as it went, so it was just
Yeah. I got you. Well, yeah, and that's the one thing I never like went to any tournament scenes to like play with any like strangers. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, you'd play with friends, like, all right, what do you want to try out, and like, how do we try to like do it like a decent fight?
Yeah. I mean, but back in the day on YouTube, especially, there was Templars Crusade started doing Horus Heresy games before they'd actually really announced that they were doing it. And when I was watching their battle reports, they were doing things like rule of cool. So
Oh,
like
absolutely, absolutely.
we'll roll for it, and if it happens, it happens. Like that's something that we took when we started playing in our games at my house. Like we
Ditto.
had loads of them.
Yeah, and if something was
It's not
questionable,
all of
we'd be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, you 4, 5, 6 this way, and then we just like roll on that if there was something questionable.
yeah.
But yeah, mostly it's because to me, like balancing or trying to balance a game like 40k is like, oh god, that ain't never gonna happen. You just got you just got to roll with the flow.
You've got to have fun. That's the main part of the game. You've got to have fun. No one wants to turn up and lose each week. I get that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And no, and that's the same. Like that's what I mean. Like I would love to play against a Titan, but I would want to come up with a format where it's at least like a cool battle. Like I don't even
Yeah,
necessarily care like who wins. It's like, okay, how is this battle like play out? Is it like if someone just gets rolled real quick, it's like, okay, that wasn't necessarily fun.
yeah. What's the reason for the time? Why is it there? Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like and
That's
how yeah, it's like because I have I mean, what do you have to you probably have to knock its shields down. I hate to
yeah, yeah. I've got. I mean, I've on the shelf up there. I've got Warhammer Titan. I think I've used it once in a game.
Yeah. Yeah, you actually got them. Yo, Moggies, thanks for making it. Moggy puts out some cool stuff too.
Oh, Moggy's great. He's building a Smaug at the moment.
What is he building?
Smaug, the dragon.
Oh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's a big toy,
Really?
very
I
big
mean,
resin kit.
huh? Maybe I haven't. I know I must have seen it on Twitter shared. So,
It's it's like Games Workshop's only resin model. It's not a full resin model. It's not a full job model. It's
okay.
a Games Workshop one, and yeah, it's brilliant. It had to be cast in resin.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Good to know. I'll have to check it out. Moggy, what are you working on anything right now? Oh, and then we'll have like a 3 minute delay because I didn't change the delay. Like, what are you working on? A half hour later, I'll get the answer. Like, yeah.
He's been building a lot as well, a
As
hell
it,
of a lot. Yeah. Each time, each time we go on a live stream on a hangout, it's here's a Thunderhawk, here's 10 Spartans.
yeah.
He builds a lot for a lot of other people. Does a very good job of it. Does a lot of my building as well because some of it I buy it and go, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, building, at least when I did it, I was a little more like I liked the building part a lot. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, come up with this, that, and other thing. So it's like I never even painted I mean, a handful of miniatures like I painted back when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And then, so I'm going to
Yeah.
end up doing my gang. I got to do a neck. I'm like, okay, I got my, oh, that's right. So I'm going to end up doing my gang and then hopefully play with that this winter.
That'd be great. I've still got all my Necromunda gangs in their boxes. still going through the collection.
I so I subscribed when they first launched the deal, and they just announced it again today. Whatever that Dark
Oh, the
Millennium or
magazine.
whatever with the
Yeah,
subscription thing. So I know it's coming to the UK, but then they announced it's coming to the US. They did a short version like last winter and over here in the States, and I signed up for that and got two of them. Like I signed up for all four, but they only shipped out two. You know what I mean? So it's like I
yeah,
got
yeah.
one and two with the stuff. I still haven't opened them, but I was like, well, it's like it's a deal, and then I'll actually have some miniatures like the Necrons. I think some of them are cool. Um, and Marines, I don't have any Primaris, so I didn't buy any. I'm like, okay, well, if they're cheap and you're gonna send me different ones, and then maybe I'll like, hey, here's one, I'll just paint it. You know what I mean? Be like, you get one off. So I'm like, okay, it probably works for me. And so I
I,
have.
I I did the first magazine run, the Conquest magazine run.
Oh,
Same as
okay.
you. I didn't have any Primaris Marines. It was just an easy way to get more Nurgle bits for me though. So I've got
Yeah, yeah, and I'm like,
Primaris.
totally.
Yeah, more Nurgle bits the better for me.
For sure.
I do love Lee's Titan.
This thing I don't, and that's the other thing. So I don't. I did buy some of the off Lonely Havocs. He just sold some Beastmen. I literally had like no miniatures or whatever. He just sold some, Beastmen he had painted quick. And I'm like, okay, I want a couple. And I
Yeah,
bought it as an army, not even wanting to play AOS. I don't even know. He was just selling it cheap. I'm like, all right, fine, give me some. I liked Beastmen from back in the old day with the Realm of Chaos or whatever.
would be cool.
And so I went to take, like a few pictures, and I don't take many photos. I took, let me see. I'm like talking to you and moving my hands and stuff like I'm actually talking to someone and no one even sees me. My hands are off the screen. I'm doing all these like movements with my hands like I'm actually being seen.
One day, mate, you need to get another little icon, the other corner, and that'll be
I
you.
know. I'm going to end up there. So it was one of these. Like I took that photo. I wanted to
Cygor.
yeah, I'm gonna take a couple more. Like I wanted to do some examples from the website of like what makes a good composition. So show a more
Yeah.
boring straight on angle and then like give someone so they can look and get some ideas for photographing their model. And I want to have like, the quote unquote more boring version and then the more exciting photo and just kind of side by side and like and so but I don't know anything much about like the lenses, I mean, I, like the basics or whatever, but it's like I didn't play around with it. I'm like, oh, because when Lee did that, I'm like, this thing, with that forced angle and obviously the size. No, I don't even know where it's at.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. And I want to, in the original photo, it's got the ceiling, and I kind of wanted to use
Oh
some
yeah,
of those squares on the ceiling as like buildings, like play off those things coming down. So you're in a huge, he's like the buildings are even bigger. Like you remember those paintings where like the structures behind them are absolutely massive.
yeah. There's a black and white picture of a warlord titan smashed into a building, and there's another one raised above it, hold clutching onto the side, and its
Yeah.
feet like firmly off the ground. It's amazing. That was in the old Titanicus rulebook.
Hmm.
Did you see the new Titan? They just
Yeah,
showed
I
off.
did. I did. I actually, I saw it the once and or a couple times on there, but I didn't really study. I saw the chain fit. I love those like chain fits.
Yeah, yeah. My eyes gravitated to that as well.
So wait, have you played Titanicus?
I've watched people play it. I spent ages building it all. Went to the Horus Heresy weekend, had it already, two armies painted out of the box, got on a plane from Southampton to Nottingham, and in that time, that army was completely smashed to bits.
You're kidding me.
So left it in Manchester, and Moggy rebuilt it all for me, but didn't end up having a game because of it. That was
Oh,
the plan. I was
dude,
having a game of the weekend.
that's not cool.
I didn't know how to play it, but I knew people would be there that did know how to play it.
Yeah. That's one I want to play. I know because I like the old BattleTech, and I just like the
Oh
little bit
god,
more battle of attrition. You know what I mean? Like you wear it down a little bit, and it's not all the crazy amount of units. Plus, the models just look amazing.
BattleTech seems to be flavor of the month at the moment as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've never played any of the new. Like I played it like long ago, and it's just like they did cool with their like heat sinks and all that, whatever they had. So I
Yeah,
don't know how different it plays these days, but
I've played quite a lot of the latest PC game, the BattleTech game on that. That's really good. Um,
okay, really, I haven't played that one or whatever. Usually, I so want to like BattleTech games and or whatever, and a lot of times the video games just so miss the mark for me on how the
Absolutely,
content
yeah.
comes out, dude.
This one has totally roped me back in. Like,
Really? Okay, good to know.
yeah, it's so much fun. But I kind of like games like XCOM anyway.
Oh wait, it's like what did you say, like XCOM?
Yeah, it plays a little bit like XCOM in the fact that
Oh,
it's
really? Oh God,
turn-based
dude, you've
strategy.
named one of my old-time favorite games. That's one of my
Yeah,
top, like, dude, that's a top five game for me for
yeah.
sure, dude. I love XCOM.
I think you'd like the latest BattleTech game then.
Really, it plays out.
Yeah, I
Okay, I
think
was
you would.
expecting. Okay, good to know. See, because yeah, it might. Huh.
But I think what got me into it was I was probably about 14 when there was a cartoon of it came out. Do you remember
Okay.
that?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Wait, but I only saw. See, we probably didn't. I do now, but I remember it being. Wait a second. How did I see it?
It was
I
on.
don't.
We had it
It
on
wasn't
Cartoon
normal. It
Network.
wasn't like on TV or something.
Yeah, we had cable. It was on cable. It was on a channel called Cartoon Network. It was on like they
Okay.
used to do an hour of Power, and it was BattleTech and something else afterwards. Yeah, I used to watch it. It was all about House Steiner, and he had an Axeman. Then they released a series of toys, and I was far too old to have the toys, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
I wanted the Axeman so badly, and I was in Florida in a toy shop buying it, getting laughed at by a load of girls. You're far too old to be buying that. Yep, I know. Yeah,
Hey,
being called all
dude, ain't no shame in getting one you wanted.
no, well, they weren't being sold in the UK. Never saw them over here.
Huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that either because what I can't remember who put out BattleTech.
Oh, BattleTech's been a sad road, hasn't it? Like in terms of its like legal status. Like
Yeah,
they
that's been
do
all over, and I can't remember what because it wasn't like a TSR or nothing. It was like I forget what the company's name was, but I think they had I can't remember if they had a couple other things. I think I still have some of the paper cutouts that they used as their bots from the first edition. Like, you know what I mean? You could get those little paper ones in there.
actually a friend of mine who has a YouTube channel as well, which is the Bonehead Podcast. He printed me an atlas actually, like because he knows how much I've always wanted one.
Yeah.
Love the atlas. One of my
Yeah.
lances on BattleTech is all atlases because why not?
What about you? Have you watched any like movies or shows or anything that you've been enjoying?
I really liked Invincible. Actually, that was probably the last thing I really got into.
Okay.
Um, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. Probably since the last time I saw you, I've watched every single season of The Expanse as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I enjoyed The Expanse. That was one of those that I would put on and like work and Expanse is a little tricky because a lot of times I'll be working. I'll just put a show on in the background. Like I've watched
Yeah,
like
not that type of
Community.
show,
Like
is it?
I've watched like Community two times through just because I put it on the background and I don't
Yeah,
miss. It's like okay, if you miss something, so what? So it depends usually on the show because I'm generally always trying to like do something and but I managed to, I would do Expanse, and that one I would end up watching. Is one of the ones that.
Yeah, there are shows I can just put on and carry on doing what I'm doing. Especially old movies like Total Recall. I can
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
I don't have to watch Total Recall to enjoy it. RoboCop, same thing.
Yeah. I'll try. What is the other? There hasn't been, I think, because it affected probably everything with, filming the shows coming out and all that stuff. So they're probably like all behind. Because nothing, I'm trying to think, nothing really new has come out
No, I
recently.
know, totally right. Um, there's a lot of stuff on Disney Plus,
Yeah.
um, but it's all right. Like, yeah, I'm not a big telly watcher, so something
Yeah,
really has.
exactly. I'll do my. It's probably in the evening. Maybe I'll watch for like 2 hours, and it's not really like that's when I kind of chill out. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I want to work on a paint over, and I just don't want to like sit in silence. And what's funny is half the time I'll end up in bed, like on my iPad, like, and what's funny is now it's like it's a productive time for me. Like, okay, this is probably like the dumbest idea, but I'd sit in bed for like 2 hours, to just like draw and whatever. And I was like, it's good
That's where you have
productive.
to work, mate. Like,
And well, I was kind of like, it was almost bumming me out because I'm like, oh, it's like, it's becoming a more regular thing where it's just like, okay, I know like at that time in the evening, I can be productive for like 3 or 4 hours. And it's usually like,
yeah,
okay, you chilled out, nothing's going on, and you can just sit there and I draw, and then I'll put on some like, show. There's a couple I like that I'll pay attention to. Like, I watched Ted Lasso, I like. So that one I'll actually like watch, I'm like, oh, it's a half hour, so I'll do that. And if I'm not like working on some of my stuff, I always get like half whatever now. So I'm like, oh, don't just like I'm like be doing something.
oh, I've been told to watch Kingdom as well. I think that's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's a zombie thing, as far as I'm aware.
Huh. I'll have to look at it.
I have to be in the right mood for zombies.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh wait. I think I was gonna put that back on. That one was one I put on for a background to try out, and I felt like I wasn't following it that good, and that it had a decent
Yeah.
story, so I didn't keep like watching it in the background, and it may make the cut again because I saw it just again the other day, and I was like, you know what, I should try that because I was liking it.
I can remember doing that with The Boys, actually, the first season of The Boys when that came out.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was I was head down painting, having that on, and then just every now and again just having to go, what the hell?
yeah, you
Like,
don't know,
and
yeah,
then I just had to stop it. So
yeah,
normally when I paint, I normally just have to listen to music.
gotcha.
Like that does me absolutely fine. But sometimes though I find I paint to certain songs.
Oh,
I don't know if you have
absolutely,
the
I
same
could I could
thing.
see that.
There's there's work songs for me. There's songs that gets it done.
Mm-hmm. They put your mind in a like a work mode or whatever.
Yeah.
Smog.
Yeah, normally the song has to sort of like sometimes fit the model. It's very different, very
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
So I'm doing my grot tanks at the moment. Oh, yeah, that way.
Oh, here, wait. Let me give you a little more screen space. Um, there's
And they've stopped selling these now.
there screen space.
Oh yeah,
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 bring it
smaller.
closer. Bring it closer to the camera. Oh, that's cool. You didn't post those on your Insta. Did you post those yet?
I put one picture of these up on Twitter. I think I've only painted
Okay,
one
because I
so
was
far.
wondering to see it. That's cool, man.
He's he's very small, but they've stopped selling them.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And that, yeah, that goes to show, like, and I know now with, like, they're kind of revamping some of the lines and stuff. It's like, oh gosh, like, especially at Forge World, I should have, see, I never painted anything forever, but I always wanted those the cool shield guys. You know what I mean? Like the 30K shield guys with all the like the the looking some, not the Iron Warriors, but the yellow ones. The
Oh, breaches, yeah, Imperial Fist breaches
yeah, Imperial Fist
with the shield.
breachers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm always like, man, I want like freaking 3 squads of those. Dude. It was just like that was
right. There's
so
no more
cool.
Palace.
Yeah.
I actually don't have any breaches. I've got a lot of World Eaters, and I don't know. They just at the time they didn't really fit for me, like
Yeah,
in my
sure.
list. But you know, there are some definite cool World Eaters, breacher Marines. Like
Hmm.
that is something I'd like to go back to do. My World Eaters. I've got to rebase all of the ones I definitely have painted as well, because normally once I painted something, I just used to stick it on a base real quick so I could game with it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm not gaming at the moment. It'd be nice to just go and properly rebase
Oh,
everything.
good point. That's probably a good use of it because then you get like a better model and you're not like redoing a whole model or
Yeah,
anything. Yeah, that's probably, and you can do something a little fun and different. That's kind of cool.
it's a lot of the times like I paint one model, don't know if you're going to be doing an army of it. It's just nice to
Yeah.
see. Nice to see if you like it.
Yeah, you got to kind of try one out, so to speak.
And then once I've done it, then I can work on like what I'm going to do for the bases, plan that out afterwards. So I've got a Zone Mortalis force that I'm really struggling with base ideas for. I have bought some of those Zone Mortalis and those
Oh, yeah,
mechanic
yeah.
bases. So that's going to cost a lot of money just to do, but it'll be worth it. Yeah, so
Yeah,
much fun.
I gotta see. I know that's the other thing. They with that dark or whatever the thing is, you sign up for a subscription. They do some. They're giving away some of the scenery, or not giving away, but selling you some of the scenery.
Hmm.
I was like, yeah,
I've got loads of it from the Conquest box as well.
yeah.
So much of it. In the end, it's in a giant tub up in the loft because there's just too much of it.
I know
I got
that's the
all of
thing. You
every.
get, yeah, get so much of that stuff.
Yeah, just seem to accumulate more sprues. I never seem to get rid of any.
Hey, you're still young enough. You'll have them for a long time, so you can make a lot of projects with them.
Yeah, I just gave a
That's gonna be
whole.
sad when like a lot of people are gonna be like 70 looking at the collection like, dude, I'm never gonna finish all these.
I'm going to be buried with all my
Yeah, I'm gonna
unpainted.
be buried and I'm not gonna have finished all this stuff, dude. Like, damn.
Yeah, yeah, just going to get buried with all my
Yeah.
unpainted models. There won't be any
You're
room for
like
me.
they all like a Viking funeral of sorts.
Imagine the fumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, burn me with my models, brick me in a wall.
Like maybe like your casket, you put like all the stuff on the side of your casket or something. Do a cool a miniature showcase when you're going in, dude.
Yeah, why not? Like, they are my models. Like,
Yeah, I want them on my casket. It's probably not a bad idea.
I did give a Space Wolf army away the other day on a sprue.
Did
I
you?
had them.
I
It was in
haven't
a
seen
box.
that.
I did. I'm no. I'm never gonna do. Never gonna make them.
Sinner, you're not going to make a Space Wolves army?
I've got time.
Yeah.
I've got time. I've got a couple of loves at the moment. Orcs being my number one love. It seems to be at the moment. I've just spent a lot of money on a armor cast battle wagon. It's in the post. Might be here
Oh,
tomorrow.
did you? Oh,
Yeah. Do you remember the old one with the really big wheels?
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have the armor cast. I had the cheaper battle wagon, the whatever was the old school one that they just normally put out. But you got the armor, was it, what did you say, armor cast or fine
I think it
cast?
was an armor cast one.
Yeah,
It
armor
is.
cast.
It's an old resin kit with big wheels. You used to be able to fit.
Yeah, it's like I know that one. That one's so cool.
Yeah. There was one on eBay unpainted, and I couldn't help myself.
Oh, so you
I
okay?
hit that moment where I was like, I'm never going to get an opportunity to get another one unpainted. There's some really nice ones on there occasionally, and they
Yeah.
are like pro painted, 100% pro painted.
Hmm.
It would be such a shame because I'd just be stripping it and redoing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So yeah, I managed to get one of them. Very happy.
Oh, good for you. You'll do something super cool with that.
I hope so. Actually, like
Well, yeah, I guess yeah, you get a big one, you have all this stuff, and you're like, oh God, what am I gonna do?
I don't want it just to go in the unpainted pile. I've got like an Imperial
Yeah,
Quicklander that's unpainted, just in a box.
yeah, because it has to come to you at the right time. It is a little bit work of art and everything with that. So
I think one good thing about buying a kit that's that old as well is that you know it's a genuine one.
yeah,
Like I haven't seen any fakes of that.
yeah,
Sometimes you just have to take a punt.
yeah.
Yeah, very happy with that purchase.
The most boring. And I have to put all. I didn't realize when I selected it, all these pieces are missing. So I gotta have to like
Ooh,
screen like select the piece behind it and then
I see what you mean.
fill it all in. Yeah.
It's like when you use the lasso tool on like other programs,
Yeah.
and it just takes half of it away that you just wish that it wouldn't.
Okay, so no.
So you've been working on anything else today that you can't show us?
Yeah, that's it. And I probably could. I didn't ask. Like they let me show one before. I never like was, hey, can I show one of these? But yeah, I still got. I did Mantic stuff, and that's what I've been kind of finishing up on. And I got 6 of them done. One's roughed in and approved, and the other one I'm trying to rough in. There's one I like. They came out really cool. The one the composition's like fighting me. Like you just get sometimes the mod. It's like the worst like jigsaw puzzles ever because you just get a bunch of like different models. Like, well, how am I going to make something dynamic out of like all these individual models? It's like half the time I don't even know. I'm like, man, how do I get myself into this? And so sometimes they're just harder to arrange and I'm still with the bigger compositions I'm still getting used to like my workflow. It's like, okay, start with this one, puts, I because I had enough experience like drawing and with like comics and stuff like
Hmm.
that, it's like I use the same kind of like how I would lay out something, you know what I mean? I try to start with the one you're miniature you're really trying to like you know show off and everything, and then the additional characters and how you lay them out. And
Oh,
yeah, I've been pushing a lot. But they also sent me a bunch of background, so like they do terrain for their scenery, and they took some really cool photos of their different scenery. You know what I mean, like angles and little shadows and stuff like that. So I get to
they're really,
incorporate.
aren't they as well? Like
What was that?
they're really giving you the tools to be able to do something good.
Yeah, they are. And the thing I liked about it is their world is more varied than the grimdark 40K. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So their sci-fi world is a little more you can have like a more corporate successful civilization even though there's a lot of war going on, so you can play in some different kind of environments, and that's been good for me just because on top of being fun, you're doing some things I wouldn't normally have been doing because I've been doing mostly like 40K, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, how am I going to get this type of, futuristic, cleaner city in with this model, you know? So that's been
It's a
cool.
different sci-fi setting, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And so I got to caught up and I'm like, oh no. Like I knew of Mantic when I started, but I never like dove deep
Hmm.
into it. And then like they sent me some of the rule books and stuff for reference. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, I want to see, you know, and read up on some of it so I can get more familiar with it. And I, you know, they started liking some stuff. I'm like, oh gosh, don't want to play more games. Like, they have halflings coming out that look.
Okay.
I do not like halflings. Not that I don't like, but I mean, like my play style or what army I think of when I'm like, oh, I want some cool army. It's not halflings. I really like these halflings. And I was like, I can't want to play more games, you know. And the same thing, um, I think they have it's Armada and naval combat, and I like it's almost the same thing to me when it's a different version. It's not Titanicus, but back in the day
Like
with
Man of War.
yeah, with like Man of War, that was cool. And I'm like, oh, I like the naval battle
Yeah.
with that. So I was like, huh. And so there'll be a couple things from them I'm gonna end up trying. Especially like I got the extra bonus of I got the the rule book. So I was like, okay, I read the lore, I didn't read the rules yet. And there's a couple cool concepts in some of their games that I kind of want to read about more to see how it would play out.
Hmm.
They did some cool stuff. What am I doing here? This is taking me
I
forever.
always,
This is like the most
I always
boring.
like reference books for lore
Yeah, and
in whatever.
yeah, I mean that was kind of like what really got me into 40K was the little art snippets and the little like just random tidbits of lore. I was never big into like oh follow it all or know the whole complete
Hmm.
story. I just like the overall feel, you know, and like okay this tidbit of grimdark and little bits and pieces. And it changed too because now it's like one big cohesive tale. Like when the games first started, it was just like little tidbits, and there wasn't like all these books coming out and everything. You know.
No, they've done a really good job of world building. Really good job of that.
I mean, they did make one of the best, whatever sci-fi worlds of all time.
I think it is the best.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't have like the same recognition as Star Wars or anything like that, but
Oh,
um,
see, yeah. To me,
there's places in Star Wars that
It's
you want
my
to live.
favorite that I can think of.
Yeah,
Like, it's better than any of the Star Wars to me, or Star Treks, or like any of that stuff. And it's got a sense of scale that's very much to its own. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's the one thing that kind of sets it apart. And like just how, you know, all the demons running around and Primarchs and it's epic.
yeah. It's stuff like the Chaos Gods, the Dark Gods.
Yeah.
They're fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. Uh, I love all that part of it.
Yeah, that was my those Realm of Chaos books and that was like the super hardcore. I'm like, oh
Oh,
gosh, this
terrifying.
stuff was like pinnacle of like bookmaking and whatever.
Yeah, it's all terrifying. That's why it's all
Yeah.
completely terrifying. I don't think the artwork, sometimes as good as it is, could ever really truly get how terrifying all that should be. I
No,
think the
oh
main reason for
God,
that is
no.
it wouldn't be printable, would it? It wouldn't be printable artwork.
No, it wouldn't. Yeah, from how the stuff would play out, it wouldn't be. And you get a glimpse of like that, and so I was like, wow.
I always think of the Event Horizon
Mm-hmm.
clips where they get the recordings.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was
like
very.
how terrifying that is.
God, it's taking me forever to trace around. Do it twice.
Getting there. Fix those bits pretty quick though.
Yeah, it should grab most of them.
Mm. Sorry, I'm a brush licker.
Concrete. Okay, I think
Can't help it.
I off that.
It's a problem with any yellow paint having to do it twice. Two coats, two thick coats.
You're gonna
Sorry,
paint something? What are you gonna work on?
Grot tank number 2.
Oh, good deal. Erus, thanks for Erus likes grots and orcs and yeah.
It's a shame. I am going to have to look for another set of grot tanks though, because I don't just want 4. I want 8.
Yeah, they don't sell them. Yeah.
They
How
might bring
long
them
were they
back.
out for? They weren't out for too long, were they?
Quite old now. It always never seems like it is, but a lot of the stuff has been out for ages. I always don't think that like the Crassus. I don't think that's that old, but it is.
I know. That's the other thing. Like, what's funny is I'd be like, oh, some time ago, I'd be like, I was realizing like how far ago the '90s were now. Even just the '90s, which partly in my brain doesn't seem like there, but you're like, dude, that's been a long time now.
Yeah. Oh, do you know? Especially when you look at old videos from the '90s, then you realise how long ago it was. Haircuts.
Yeah, I know. I recently I like put a couple of the old movies on. See, that's one of the shows I'll watch when I'm drawing. I did they'll have like the movies that made us, and so it'll
All
be
right.
like, so I watched the kind of like a behind the scenes on they did one for Die Hard,
Yeah.
and I watched that, like how it got made and everything, and like that's like a perfect kind of background show. I had to watch the one on Elf with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I wanted to see some of the story behind that.
I'm. Do you know? I've never been massive on Christmas films.
Hmm.
I think they're good for some people. They never have been for me. Not my favourite ones, but yeah,
Those were just fun because that one's hilarious. Well, I count. I guess those are Christmas movies. I count Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
it is.
Yeah,
It is.
that's funny.
Could be one of my favourite Christmas movies. I think. Yeah. I always used to like Santa Claus the movie when I was a kid. That was probably my favourite.
I don't know if I. There's probably a couple I like. Get going so I can clean this all up.
Thank God for that. I thought I packed all the paint I needed away today.
Yeah.
I did send you that picture of my insanely messy desk.
Yeah, you clean. It's all sharp, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like, if I have to tidy up quick, I will.
You did good with that. Yeah, I gotta clean a bunch of stuff. I cleaned up, but then I just like whatever boxes, papers, what I got, and I got
Yeah.
rid of all the water. I think last show I was like, dude, I have 2 water bottles and 2 Red Bull or whatever. I cleaned all that up, and now today there's 2 water bottles and a Red Bull can. And I just remember complaining about. And what's
Yeah.
funny is they're
Glasses of
new
water.
ones. Like that's horrible. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm really bad for glasses of water. There's 2
so
in this room already.
and it's actually wait, so it's not 3. So I have 2 plastic ones, which fair enough. I drank one today and the Red Bull, but then I got like I don't know what they are, like a thermos water thing, so you can pour cold water and it like keeps it cold like all
Oh
day.
right, yeah,
So I have that there too. So I'm like, oh god. And then I like paid all the bills, and then like a bunch of stuff came back for like taxes and everything. So I have paperwork out that I didn't yet put away, and it's like, oh god.
so good not opening mail.
That is one thing. The amount of mail coming sure did slow down.
I've started to really like some of these contrast paints. Contrast Black Templar, really nice.
Oh yeah, there's Games Mal who works on my videos and is in Discord.
Yeah,
They all love it, and I see why. I'm like, I see this. I'm like, oh, dude, I like it, and it like when you have your use case and how you're going to use it, and your right color combo. It's like, dude, that'll save you so much time.
yeah. I was in the Portsmouth Games Workshop actually, and I was browsing, and there was an orange I'd not bought, so I ended up buying the orange. It's fantastic.
Huh.
I think I nearly have all of them now. I think. But yeah, the black. just does what I want it to do. Sometimes 2 coats of it. It's lovely.
Hey, Spook, thanks for making it.
Yo. I do have to do another paint run soon because I'm running out of my everyday paints.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll use them up, I assume.
I've got a lot of orcs to paint ready, set on the side. There's about 40 orcs assembled, ready to
Are
go.
you serious?
Yeah, I can't be bothered there at the moment. So that's why I'm doing the tanks.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm like. In orcs, I always liked they're one of my favorite looking armies, but because of how many there were and like how much stuff is on them, which I absolutely love, but I knew
Yep.
myself enough to be like, that's a bit much for you, buddy. You're not even painting a smooth
It's such
whatever. Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, I could never fully get into orcs because I'm like, they're some of my favorite. Man, that's like a full time job.
Yep. I thought about it though, like if I did one a night, just
Yeah,
paint one a night. I mean, I don't like factory lining models.
yeah,
Never,
yeah.
never really been able to
Yeah,
do
you
that.
want the it's a little like fun too.
Yeah, one at a time.
You don't want to. No sense to like burn yourself out on your hobby, and it's hard too. Like with everything going on in the world, it's like
God, yeah.
just makes it tedious.
I mean, I don't even know if I'll ever game with them, but it's something I was
Yeah,
thinking about
yeah,
the other day.
totally.
I don't think of all the armies that I'll ever have, I think I'll never stop collecting them.
Oh, I could see that. And especially if you have someone you're painting, it's like, oh, I want that one just to paint and go with it. So it's not even like you
Yeah.
need it for something. It's just it'll go cool with it and you like it. But I think that's like kind of the perfect use for a hobby. Yo, Crimson. Yeah, he's licking his paintbrush too. That's I think I wouldn't say everyone, but
God, I think I've tried every paint going, actually,
yeah,
flavor wise.
I'm a paint taste tester. Like what color do you think I should use? Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that the crimson is a little salty.
Yeah. Yeah, I have got some ancient washes that I can tell you now, they do not taste nice.
Yeah, the old school ink washes one.
Oh yeah, I've got a devil in mud that I think kill a man. I think it's devil in mud anyway. Yeah, you open it up and it just smells like a bog.
Yeah, and they always did, even back then. I can't imagine now that it's aged properly.
I did buy some pearlescent paints a little while ago. I think they're for radio remote control cars. But
Yeah.
when I bought them, I looked at the warnings on them and just thought, there's no point me using these because these will kill me. Because I know I will lick the brushes, I'll do
Yeah.
everything I shouldn't do.
Are you off work, King? Well, we got like a delay. I forgot to change the delay on this, so we'll probably have like a minute delay. Ivan, you had food. Get out of here. You just had stuff.
Is that the dog?
Yeah, and he ignores. He's just staring at me. I was like, dude, I want
Yeah.
more. I just fed him because yeah, we haven't even been on. Like, yeah, okay, he knows that was a fake call out for food. I was like, just fed you, dude. Don't try me. He just like, I just know you're online.
Getting the stare.
And that's the problem with this dog. I, and you get all the stuff taken care of him. He doesn't like to cuddle. Like he won't come sit. I mean, like we get on fine, play, do whatever. But I take him for walks, and he with anyone, he won't like come and just like sit on your chair and sit next to you. I'm like, dude, I sit in this chair and draw. I'm like, it would be cool if the dog like, nope, not him. He wants to like run around. Like, come on, you can sit over there. Why can't you sit by me? Just
Is
like
he
no.
very much his own man?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, dude. We can cuddle, man.
Yeah.
Where? Okay.
Yeah, my first dog, she used to sleep on my head. She used to wrap herself around my head in the night.
You know, Spook, I saw those Night Lords, and yes, I totally forgot about it, which was a bad thing. But yeah, I think I still have it in one of the tweets. I think I saved it. And King
What's
Crimson
this?
is still at work. He's shutting
Someone doing
down,
Night
so
Lords.
not a ton of business right now. So thanks for stopping in, even though you're working. It really shows. I got to figure out what I was doing with this now. I'm going to turn this on, this on. Let's try to make some buildings out of that. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna check his water and give him a carrot, and I'll be back in like literally 2 minutes. Make something up to talk about. I don't know, what could you talk about for 2 minutes? Wait, I don't have a time lapse I can put up. Here's one. I like these orcs. Time lapse replay. There we go. Give me 2 minutes.
These the beast snaggers. Very nice. It's all very cool. I don't know whose model this is though. I'm going to put my head sideways so I can watch it.
Whatever. He still had food, so he can deal with it. King Crimson got the new Kill Team box. Oh yeah. There is some cool stuff in the Kill Team box.
I managed to snag myself a kill team box.
You did too. You are piling up stuff.
Yeah, I skipped the queue. I know that they put the queue system back on the website, so I just went and bought it from somewhere else. Like the moment it came out, I'm very lucky to be able to get one.
Yeah, good.
I know the promise is a really cool thing actually. They were saying.
Did you read the rules of it yet?
No, I kind of want someone else to do that for me, to be honest.
Gotcha.
I'll just make it. I'll go along with. I'll have it ready, and when someone wants to play it,
Yeah.
I'll go. Yep, I'll learn it today.
Perfect.
But yeah, I've seen that there's like hieroglyphics for different things, isn't there? Like there's
Yeah.
squares and circles for different things. The measuring stick I've seen. I
Yeah,
just
I
saw
know.
the trailer.
I know. That's a trick that. Yeah.
Yeah, Death Corps of Krieg in plastic. Who'd have thought?
I know. And I like how they made it just like how it looked and whatever. They did pretty. Their little animated thing was cool too.
Yeah. And also, like, if by rights all the expansions coming out, you probably, well, if you like, I've got lots of things I could probably use to make different kill teams.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things I can see about that game is then, and it probably also hooks a lot of people because they're like, well, I can use it as a kill team, and then if they like it, they
Yeah,
bring it into an army. You know.
it's a cost factor for a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like in everything. When I was a kid, I couldn't afford to have done this.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have armies now, but then I have disposable income. As a kid,
Yeah.
I know everything was disposable when you were a kid, but I had a lot less of it.
Yeah. It's hard to come across this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, saving up. I remember I saved up for about 3 months to get the Wood Elf Dragon.
Oh
Like
yeah.
a couple of quid by here and there. Still got one. I see what you mean with the lines now.
Yeah, I just want to try to get.
Some dirty, great big buildings in the background.
Yeah, just like the little shadowy struck, nothing, whatever. And I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do it. I don't know. That obviously doesn't look right, but there's a shape in there somewhere.
So you could kind of go like really gothic, or you could just kind of go Havelock style, just rows of concrete balconies.
Because I know. So wait, if I take this out, take this part out, let me get a simple shape in here. That's the problem with not knowing what you're doing.
Winging it.
Yeah. And it's got that funky, because like I want to play with the, oh gosh, it makes me think of whatever that, there's a couple artists who are doing, who like, they would literally draw in like fisheye vision, like a fisheye lens, and they'll draw it just like one line, you know what I mean? Like, oh, here's how
Yeah.
you draw a it's like this perfect angle where I'm like, wait, how does it warp? And like, what am I be seeing with this decision? And they just like crank it out. Like, oh, here's how you do a perfect fisheye lens restaurant with 100 people in it. It's like, oh, you bastards.
Yeah. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole watching people do digital art like with tablets, like
Yeah.
taking samples as well, and then changing the samples into all sorts of different things. Like some real Blade Runner-esque style like artworks.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Does make me jealous.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, you're using I think that's a fridge, isn't it?
That's what, yeah. Like on the left, I think that's a fridge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Lee's fridge.
We got Lee's fridge turn into a. I just want to get. I don't. My mind doesn't know what I want to look at yet. And as soon as I get a couple shapes, I'll be like, okay, this is how it would be. Then I can build off of it.
Do like a
So,
really
and it's
moody,
so
warm
forced that
sky.
it messes with me. Like that foot looks so big.
Yeah, it is. That's fine.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's why. Exactly. Okay, let me do this. And literally, because this was more chill, this is what I try to figure out beforehand, because it's like the most dry live stream ever. You know, it's like, oh, here's a bunch of stuff that I don't like and doesn't look good. Like, skip that. It's like, here, I erased this and now I do a bunch of garbage for a half hour. It's like, no, we can skip the garbage part. Like, I usually like try to just mock something in so that it's like, okay, I'll start with this.
That looks good though, doesn't it? It didn't take you too long, did it?
No, I can usually, like, if I do it, it's like most of these, something like this, like maybe half hour or something to clean one up.
Hmm. Would very much. It's the only reason I want an iPad is to get this.
Oh yeah, like I said, I love the iPad now. Just so user friendly.
Yeah, wouldn't be without it.
It's like, we just, and I got other things, but like a PC, it's always like turn it on, fire it up. This I can like flick the button that goes to sleep, wake it up, and it's right there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so you're not even dealing with you don't even have to wait 30 seconds for something to boot up, let alone a minute. It's like, oh, okay, here, and it's amazing how well that works. The fact that there's no friction, like sometimes I'd be laying there, like, we sit on the couch or laying in bed, and I'll just grab, like, hey, let me check something out, and then I just start drawing because there was no like hesitancy. It's immediately in my hand. It doesn't matter that I'm laying half cocked on an angle. It's like I'll just hold it and work.
You can take it everywhere you go as well, can't you? I suppose.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna go do the messy schmoo part. Starting doing some washes on it.
It's my headcanon that the Death Corps of Krieg speak with a French accent. I could see that.
It just looks so good.
They've always been a cool, because it's got that throwback feel, and it almost like goes with the Orc Commandos. Like Orc Commandos were a little cartoonier, but that kind of goes with the Paul's.
Blood Axe Commandos,
Yeah, yeah. So, but I liked it because it's still kind of half fit.
It was an interesting choice to do them. I thought they probably would have. I mean, if they were going to do a Forge Rod unit, maybe it would have been like Legions, seeing as they don't actually do them anymore.
Yeah, they probably just because they're more popular.
Yeah, probably that. I think they are probably the most popular Imperial Guard regiment.
I know. Well, yeah, because mine is more when I used to when I ended or not ended playing or whatever I did. It was kind of like the what were the big one, the jungle ones, the catechins.
Catachan Jungle Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a squad of them. They were great. Bigger than Space Marines, actually, weren't they at the time?
Yeah.
I think that is a kit though now. I mean, if you see the plastic ones they've got now, Catachan Jungle Fighters, that is a bad kit. I don't think I ever liked it. It's just such a shame that that's not on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be doing it soon, yeah, hopefully, but it does really need retiring.
Yeah, I wonder if they will. The Cadians are the most popular Imperial Guard regiment. Yeah, I can see the Cade. Yeah, because they did that whole battle thing about it too.
Yeah, I suppose with the Cadians, the armor transcended just the planet, didn't it? They were shipping that out everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can carry on collecting Cadians. I'd imagine they'll be around for a very long time to come. But you used to get Valhallan Ice Warriors. Do you remember them?
Yeah, I do. But there wasn't much about them. But there was some because I think those were coming out the time they were doing the Arbiters. No, it was probably after that. I don't think. It was after.
Yeah, it was around the Necromunda era. It was Valhallan Ice Warriors. Then it was the Talon Desert Raiders.
Yeah, I remember the Desert Raiders.
They would be really nice if they were to redo them.
Yeah, they could do some cool stuff now.
The new sprue they put in with the guard infantry box is really nice.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So it gave you like some options to like some add-ons type of thing. Is that what it was? Okay.
Problem is most guard players have probably got enough guardsmen as it is. Like unless you're starting new, it's a shame they didn't release it separate as well. I know you can't you can't always have everything you want, but yeah, it would have been nice if they were to sell that separately. All right, that is enough schmoo. I'll be able to touch that for a while. That is severely grossed. Yeah, I had a week off, and it was I was in my painting slump.
Okay. Wow,
on the desk.
Your painting slump. You had a week off.
Yeah, I had on the desk. I've got this old guy that I was working on. Can't be bothered to finish him.
Wait,
he's really nice.
Closer to the camera.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there you go. That thing's huge.
Yeah, he's one of the RTLW models.
Okay.
He's got a backpack as well. But yeah, he's almost ready. but I just really struggled until I thought, that's it. I'm going to do that Nurgle Dreadnought.
Yeah.
That one.
Wait, a little move. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh, that's looking cool already.
Yeah, he's pretty nice.
Huh. What kind of like when did that model come out?
It's a good couple of years old now. It's a
Yeah,
Leviathan.
because it's like there was the redesign. I remember that, I mean, I know them all, not all of them, but I've seen a lot more now. But like the old school blockier ones, when the metal, like, uh, now I can't remember his name. The Who is for the Space Wolves, who lost his arm, who's now
Bjorn.
encased. Bjorn, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
It's
I
a
love that Dreadnought.
Castaferum Dreadnought. I think
What was
that's what
that?
they're called. I think they're called Castaferums or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual class was.
Boxnaut.
Yeah,
Everyone used to call them Boxnauts, but yeah, I think it's a Castaferum.
yeah,
I mean, they still exist. But I mean, Heresy, everyone remembers the Contemptors. Everyone loves the
yeah,
Contemptors and Heresy. And they are lovely models.
yeah.
I've got an Imperial Fist one I've made a start on and probably will never finish.
Yeah, Spook Bjorn felt handed.
Oh, he was such a good model.
Yeah, he played great back then. Like he had some staying power.
It was really nice as well because I, there wasn't really a Dreadnought character up until that point that
No,
you sort of pin on.
yeah.
Um, yeah, really nice model. Everyone really wanted an assault cannon on their Dreadnought after that came out.
Oh yeah, yeah. They really did because it works, man. You could mow down some units with that.
I had the original one with the multi melter, the metal one
Okay.
that you could kill someone with if you threw it at them.
How am I gonna do this?
Always been a fan of Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, they're one of the, to me, like the quintessential units of 40K. Like Rhino, it's like if I go Space Marine, Rhino,
Yeah,
Dreadnought to me, and maybe Titan's in there somewhere. Like it probably even goes Space Marine, Rhino, Titan, Dreadnought to me. Like if I
yeah.
thought of like what's your iconic, you know what I mean, 40K pieces, I would kind of go that way.
Oh, God, what would it be for me? Um,
Like
I
if they
think it
said
would be
what's your like your iconic, like your three or four, like when you, like if you think what units or whatever really sum up 40K to you or something, you know what I mean?
yeah, I'm gonna say it. It's the Dreadnought from Space Crusade. That was
Okay.
when I was a kid. It was that was 40k. Like seeing
Okay.
that Dreadnought. Wow, I really wanted it. It's the Android Dreadnought now. I think they called
Yeah,
it.
with that kind of rounder.
Yeah, it's more like Ed 209.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the quintessential Warhammer model for me.
Okay.
That probably the Beetleback um, Warlords Titans as well, like that, the old ones from the
Yeah.
original Titanicus.
Yeah,
And
those were iconic. Like seeing those, I was like, dude, these things are so cool.
oh god, the back of the old White Dwarfs always used to have them, like have like a battle scene.
Yeah.
Like some of them would be like forced perspective pictures
Yeah.
as well. You'd see like the Titans in the background, but they'd use like there's one I think this Ultramarines. There's an Ultramarines Rhino and some Ultramarines looking over a cliff, and then on the
Oh,
other
and then
side,
showing the, yeah.
such a good picture.
I know. I gotta do some of that with these paint overs too.
Yeah,
Okay, so Spook says Dreadnought, Lehman Russ, Space Marines, and Imperial Guardsmen for me. I could totally see that.
yeah. So I always wanted Imperial Army, but never ever bought any.
I know because yeah, he's right. I would have to. Guardsmen are somewhere in the mix for me. The only reason I don't, for me, I think of the like the visuals, and as cool as I think guardsmen are, there's more things like them than there were like a Space Marine at the time or even a Titan. You know, there's some out there, but they still design. They have their
Yeah,
design language down for those things. Man, they went so far.
yeah. Beaky Space Marines as well. Mark
Oh
Six Space.
yeah, yeah. Those were the classic. You know what I mean? To me, it was like, okay, those like once they had the beaks and everything, it was like, oh wow.
Actually, the other day I was cleaning out the garage. I found my first ever Space Marine.
Did
Like,
you?
yeah, it is one of the original plastic beakies. It's red. It's got danger stripes on the power fist. Like,
Yeah.
and I saw Duncan Rhodes did a video where he found his first ever Space Marine, and
Okay.
he like redid the paint scheme like with his skills today. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a really cool thing actually. So I haven't binned it. I thought I might do what he did. It just goes in the everlong bucket of half finished ideas. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I gotta get
so
some of
have you
these.
ever seen, is it 3D Greg on Twitter?
Oh yeah,
Greggles?
oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen his Orc Knights?
Yes, yeah. He did a foot. They're blue, right? Is
He's
it the
got a
blue?
yellow. He's got a dirty
Okay,
yellow
I
one,
can't.
and the blue ones.
I know I've seen them. I might just be
Yeah,
confusing it with another one, but I'm pretty.
they are absolutely gorgeous. I've always been a massive fan of those. So I've been amassing bits over the last like 2 years to have a go. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so yeah,
there's still
that's
no way to do
just
it
how
yet.
this stuff works. The inspiration travels. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
like, oh wait, what about that? It's like, oh, I got some ideas. And then before you know it,
Just the
you're
other day, again, browsing eBay, couldn't help myself. Where are they?
other way.
That's that way. Yeah, got it. Cost me a lot of money,
Oh
but they're old cultural glyphs. Like, that's that's for that. That's how we go with that
yeah,
much.
you're collecting all the little tidbits. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, if I see anything orky that I haven't already got, I'm having that. Bought a whole Dakka jet because I just needed a couple of bits from it.
Just a couple.
Yeah, no, I needed a cockpit from it, and I've had a thought what I might do with the wings, but it's going to be a big project. I'm going to have to really, maybe on my next week off, get some of this other stuff out of the way first.
And you've been back to work for a while now, correct?
Yeah, I've worked. I wasn't furloughed at all. I stayed at
Okay.
work.
Yeah.
So in some respects, it was quite a nice thing that I was able to just carry on as normal, just go to work, come home,
Well, yeah. So
no
yeah, like
house especially or anything.
I know. It was like you be thankful for the little things that you keep on for normal
Yeah,
because like there's like a lot of things got screwed up.
yeah. I've never really liked the
Good
phrase "the
night,
new
Spook.
normal."
Thanks for making it. What were you saying?
Never liked the phrase "the new normal." I'd just
Yeah.
rather normal just be normal.
I don't want it to be normal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So I always like doing. I'm not ready for it yet, but like I always put one to overlay because I always put the tinted layer and then I like bring it back out. More orange, and then oh wait, I should select this one. There. Oh, that's too big.
You could Lee's probably got enough Titans big and small for you to do a force perspective.
Well, yeah, I know, and that's part of the reason I wanted to get some of my own so that I can, because when if I'm setting up a shot and I can kind of know exactly, hey, I'll put these here and put these there, and you know what I mean. Then I know
Yeah.
how the scene is going to set up, and I could just sketch some and then pass along, hey, put a Titan like this, a Titan like this, and we'll put some in the background, and that's what I'm getting to with. I'm working with Ben's a photographer over at Mantic, and that's been kind of fun because
Yeah.
he starts putting the more shadows on the pictures, and you're playing into the shadow and you're playing into the light source, and then he's seeing what I'm doing, and then that's he's tweaking his subjects to go that way and everything, and that's been a lot of fun.
Also working to a brief as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So they'll have their what they're thinking for the background and everything, and then I go from there and send them the rough it in, send it to them like, hey, are we on the same page? And then the one thing too that's really tough is I'm familiar enough with their models, but when you're trying to put stuff in perspective and place one on one of their, like, it doesn't come photographed together. So you got to put the mini on the background piece in the background and you're trying to judge the scale. You know what I mean? So then I'll be like, are these scales close to right? And I'll be like, okay, this one's got to be a little smaller or a little bigger. And
I expect they're quite receptive of you asking questions as well, aren't they? Like when you
oh yeah,
need
and
something.
they're cool. That's been like that's what I'm like. I gotta do really good job because they've been fun to work with. And most of the time, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
you know how it is. Like half the time, like people at your work are more hassle than anything, and they've been like a lot of just a joy to work with. And so it's just been fun. Like, oh, this, and so they're all the creative types too, and they obviously like their games and everything like that. So it's
Cool.
just been like fun, coming up with stuff, and it's nice to get my little kind of like just a what's my little input on the world. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this one, thinking this, and when I worked on the ones for them, I tried to get like a nice range. Like the first one's like a batch of 10, so I try to get a bunch of different colors in them and stuff, so they go as like a whole like kind of little series too. So you get
Yeah, yeah.
just a range of colors and a range of like they put down some of like the subject matter, like, hey, if it's like a ruined city in the evening type thing, and trying to come up with that, and that gets me out of it gets me trying something different or what I wouldn't normally try or something like that. They can get tricky.
Is there a model you've not done a paint over yet that you really want to do one day?
So yeah,
Doesn't have to be GW.
I don't know. There's a couple models. I would have to think what actual models. There are a couple though that I see and I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta do one of those. And I would have to think on that, but there are some, like a lot of the orc models, like literally, a lot of the vehicles and stuff. I'm like, okay, that would be really just fantastic, and probably, I guess, because Titanicus doesn't have gargants, right? Gargants, I don't know yet.
Yet.
Yet, you know what I mean. So I'm like, I bet I like those models a lot, but if they were around more and I saw them more, I would paint those over for sure. That's another iconic unit to me.
Oh, Gargant. Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember being like again 6 and 7 years old and drawing pictures of Gargants on like the old computer paper.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Everybody drew on that computer paper.
yeah.
I did too. That's hilarious.
My friend had the I think it was the original Space Walk box, and that was
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite thing to do, was just to draw pictures of Gargants. Like,
I know that stuff was so cool. I'm gonna leave this one. I need a minute, and I will be back. Gosh, I love this thing. That's so.
oh yeah, no, I know this guy.
Yeah.
On Instagram, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's on Twitter too. I'm gonna leave you for 1 minute. I'm gonna put a time lapse on this one. I don't know. You can feel free to talk or not talk. I'll be right back.
It is lovely. That speaks off. Caffeus Kane books, yeah. can't remember the name of the guy who did this piece. He's done lots of bits very similar to that. It's very nice. So the sort of Warhammer models I really like. That's very grim dark. Yo, potato mage. How's it going, mate? Very cool. I don't remember him doing this one either. Yes. Finishing bases does suck. I keep buying more and more materials to do different things with bases. My latest thing I've really been enjoying is diorama effects Vallejo earth texture. It's the black lava one. Very good if you ever have a go. Yeah, I suppose I thought these bases finished from under. I think they're all right. Oh, so this is a really old one. This is a really old paint over. Yeah, I know that. I know the guy from Instagram. I just can't think of his name.
All right. Okay, I'm back. He had to. I took him out right before the show started, and then he's coming in here. So I'm like, something's either up. Sometimes like there's a dog barking outside or something that he
Right.
hears, but he had to go out again, and then he would sit here and be answering. I'm like, do you have to go? I'm like, I didn't think you have to go out in like an hour. So, yeah, he really had to go out. So that was that. Yo, Martin. Martin's been working his butt off, and he's a big fan of the contrast too.
Really good fun. Really good fun paint.
And it seems like it achieves an objective, and like that's hard to do with like a paint. You know what I mean? It's like it does something a little. Normally, you're always doing the work with the paint, even if it's a great paint. But that one kind of sneaks in to help you out.
Thinning them down as well with mediums, making your own glazes is really nice. Seeing as GW stopped selling glazes,
Okay,
you
so
can make.
wait, when GW, the only thing I was familiar with back in the day was they sold inks. Were the inks
Yep.
and the glazes different?
Inks and glazes, yeah. Inks work differently. They don't sell inks anymore, I don't think at all. But there is a company out there that's got the original recipes.
Oh,
Coat
really?
Arms, I think, was selling them for a little while. I think they still are.
That's funny.
I started painting Tyranids for a friend of mine, and I was using the old GW blue ink, and I ended up having to try and find some more. And coat to arms is exactly the same,
Oh, okay.
but very hard to get hold of now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a fellow contrast worshipper and brush licker.
He got his he did a corpse grinders, I think it is.
Oh right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mine are still in the box.
Yeah, hey, they're safe and sound in their box. And you say you haven't been able to play anything in a while, have you?
No, I haven't played a game since 2014. I don't think now.
Oh wow! So yeah,
Yeah, it's been a while.
do you play any video games really right now? Do you play any games?
I just downloaded the new Warhammer game, the Battle Sector one.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
it's it's like a turn-based one. It's like Gladius, but a little bit different. It's about it's Blood Angels and when the Primaris turned up.
okay.
Um, so was enjoying that for a bit. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's more of the same. You kind of know
yeah,
what you
yeah.
do with
It's
it.
hard to get something, and I don't know. Like, is it? I don't know if I'm getting like older and you get more like. And plus, like I
Yeah,
always feel like I should be working on my whole little AE thing. So my life was like, I was like, oh, should I really be doing this when I should be
yeah.
like whatever? So my default is like, well, get to work and like design something or work on something. So I will take, I'll play a couple video games, but like one I played again recently, it was like Apex. So I get my brain would charge up because you're getting fast paced action. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I could get a game in generally in less than 10 minutes. So I'll play two games. And so it's like, I can generally like, it's a good refresh for my brain because I'll only focus kind of on the game. I won't be thinking about, oh, I got to draw this or I should be working on this. It's like, okay, cleanse my
That's what
mind.
you're meant to do. That's what it's meant to be fun, isn't it? And
Yeah. And it just gets me in the moment and you can tell it like speeds up. I used to do it when I would have to work a lot. Now my drawing hours generally always start later, but I used to be able to like get up at like 7 o'clock and start drawing, and I mean, even then I would play like a video game, like some sort of fast shooter, and like my brain would just wake up. You know what I mean? It'd be like, okay, you're
yeah,
running around, you're doing this, and I find it kind of charges that up.
I did
But
buy. I just bought the Mass Effect trilogy.
okay,
Do you
yeah,
ever play Mass Effect?
I've I played the first one and really liked it. And I used to love RPG type games.
Yeah,
Now my attention span has been like so shortened. Like right when I don't play and then like I would log back in to play again and forget where I was at and what I was trying to build on my guy and I'm like, oh forget
yeah.
it.
Well, funny enough, actually, my hobby slump happened when I bought Mass Effect,
Uh, ah.
and
Hey,
I found myself not being able to do anything but think about Mass
take
Effect.
care of that. One more. I'm gonna pause for a second. Martin, keep him company. Talk to him for a minute. I'll be back.
What is going on? So, what gang are you doing, Martin? So far, only been able to finish one of my gangs. I painted an entire Orlok gang. Um, with that was the intention to maybe have a game with that at the Horus Heresy Weekender as well. Didn't take them. Have to send me some pictures of your gang. This is going to be Corpse Rider Cultists. Yeah, mine are still in their box. up there. Let's see if that shows off. Can you see that? It's the shelf of shame. All the things that I might at some point get round to finish. There's a copy of Hero Quest there as well, just to show off my age. That's better. Yeah, glorious shelves. Cost me a lot of money. And then behind those boxes, up the top, are more boxes, more box games, failed projects. I think you're in Germany, aren't you? It would cost me a lot of money to post all that to Germany. It is awful not having enough storage for everything you've painted. Got far too much stuff painted that will never be able to be displayed because I've got the space for it. Yeah, there's both the Necromunda boxes up on the top shelf. They're opened, but completely everything's still where it needs to be in the boxes on the sprue. Now I got to try and find some room for Kill Team as well. No, I'm being buried with all my stuff. I'm sorry, it's not going to Germany. Whereabouts in Germany are you?
Okay, phone call. I got help my dad with the doctor stuff, so I had to take a phone call. And
Oh, right. Actually important stuff as well.
yeah, some like usually I don't like nothing to interrupt my stream except the dog.
Dog you can kind of understand, can't you?
And I don't know where the Apple oh, here it is. I have two Apple pencils because I'm forever losing one of them. And one's usually not charged, so I usually like have one charged, and then when I lose one, I find it like a few days later, and I use the other one. I'm always like missing one.
Oh, Martin's in Berlin.
Yes, he is.
It's a fantastic city. I really enjoy Berlin.
You better have picked up White Dwarf 465.
Hey, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good. That I could just say.
I really wanted those 10 people transfers.
Like, you don't
Nothing
even
else.
know me to say it like that.
Actually, it was really good because my friend was in the month before as well. Who you did a paint over for him as well.
Okay.
So that was really nice actually. When I went into the supermarket, they had your issue and his issue still on sale, so I managed to get both of them.
Oh, see, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
What's funny too is it's kind of cool. Like now I've been more active in the community, and I'll see some of the models that I like saw on Twitter, and then see them pop up in the magazine. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. Are you going to get Warhammer Plus?
I think so. I like. It seems like you get some stuff, and I'm like, all right, I'll try it out. Like I
The back
definitely.
issues of White Dwarf are a thing for me.
What was that?
They're doing so you'll get access to like back issues of White Dwarfs.
Oh, yeah.
So there's initially I think it's only last year's White Dwarfs,
Mm-hmm.
but my hope is that they'll go into their archives and go,
Yeah,
you know what?
slowly trickle some out.
Let's just give people what they want. They want issue 187. Go from there. That's a very good issue, by the way.
I probably. Why? Which one is that one?
I think 187 had Black Orcs on the front of it. I've got a feeling it's all about Space Wolves on the inside. I think there was a
Okay.
Warhammer. The battle report, I think, had Azag the Slaughterer in it.
Okay, because I'm trying to figure out which one.
I remember.
I have to go. I should pull up all my old ones. I think that should be like a a skit, not a skit, but like a segment on the show with like a look at the old Warhammer. You know what I mean? Take like 10 minutes, show some of the stuff that's in it, like any of the units. I might have to do that on these Wednesday shows.
Oh, well, next time I'll dig out my earliest issue.
Yeah, dude.
I've got issue 18.
Oh my god, yeah. I have nothing near close to that. So like, what? I don't even know what my earliest would have been.
Yeah, issue 18 had Star Trek on the front cover,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like Thrug the Barbarian. I think it was like one of their first ever characters.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I know, and you were over there, so you got the good stuff. We were waiting for cast-offs to float across the sea. Flotsam, and we get our flotsam and jetsam over here or whatever.
Thing is, right now I go on eBay. Most of the things I want are in the States. Like most of the old Hammer, yeah, a load of the old Hammer is all in the States.
Oh, okay.
And it's like you look at the postage. Oh God, I'm gonna get.
No, it's gonna get even worse now. Yeah.
Yeah, I always do wonder how much classic Warhammer that's worth a fortune has just ended up in a landfill.
Oh God, tons.
It always
A
makes
lot of parents got rid of a lot of minis when kids went off to college and stuff.
Yep. Just straight in the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not using this anymore. It's garbage.
I had a housemate and his dad when he was at college, sorry, boarding school, threw all of his Warhammer away.
Oh, see. Oh, wow.
He didn't want to believe it, but it was true.
That's just, yeah, gosh. Nightmare scenario.
Yeah, no, definitely get the old White Dwarfs out. I think I've got issue 90 as well. That was like a limited edition. It was a birthday issue, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust those out. I think I will because I looked at the other one. I was like, the one I pulled out was the issue where they announced. Oh God, no, I can't remember his name. He's like my favorite 40K artist, Adrian Smith.
Oh
they
yeah,
announced him joining the studio. So they had some of the their art coming out then and stuff and that. So he officially became part of the studio in that one, and I was like, oh gosh, that was such a great stuff.
They've always had had some very good artists, haven't they? Like over the years.
Yeah, iconic ones that really there's quite a few. I mean, a lot of them had their style and they fit and they were still different and yeah. I was like, man, that was.
Do you remember Mark Gibbons?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to really like Mark Gibbons' work. I say used to, I still love it.
Yeah. I mean, Paul's stuff with the orcs, and then Blanche. How he was like Blanche,
John Blanche.
Yeah.
I met John Blanche when I was about 13, and he was eating his lunch. And I sat next to him, didn't know who he was at the time.
Yeah.
He's still nice enough to give me his autograph at the time.
Right on.
And he's still a really sound ass bloke.
Yeah. Yeah, because he did a lot of stuff for them.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in all the rule books, in everything,
Well, even now, it's a lot of the things that he sketched have definitely shaped a large portion of the universe that we're loving.
Absolutely. Like all of them did. They all left their mark. Like those, like especially those, the ones who did a significant amount of artwork. They left their mark. Like Paul's like lasted forever on the orcs. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah,
it was. There's something magical. Like I'm glad I was in at that time because it was still like so small and so like whatever. It was just kind of like a little bit of a you have that lightning in a bottle at a certain point in time where it's like this thing just starts growing. And
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
now it's like there's so many books, and it's like the whole story. Like before then, you'd even really know what the full story was. They're like just making it up as you go along, and
I think there was definitely a time when me and my friends, when we were talking about it, to anyone else, it would have sounded like we were talking in code.
yeah,
Do you know, like, and like, I can remember we went to the first Horus Heresy weekender, and my friend turned around to me and said, like, I can't believe this place. It's like being in a big pub, and everyone
yeah,
knows what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah,
he'd never experienced anything like that.
yeah.
Because you're just hearing like little snippets of conversation like around you, and thinking, this wouldn't have happened anywhere else. Like,
Well, and then the other thing about then too is like there wasn't like the internet like it was now or anything.
yeah,
I mean, before that it was like pre-internet basically. You know what I mean? When I first started, it was like before. Like, see, that was your only way of getting. It was like we'd go to like yeah, oh, see, people they would know the area, but like we would go down to like is 8 Mile. Like remember the rapper Eminem would like do the 8 Mile thing or whatever. That's where we go down to 8 Mile to get the miniatures because it was this old school hobby, and it was like this super sketchy area, and it was just hilarious. We'd be like going
yeah,
down there for 8 Mile in Detroit to get miniatures. And we'd be like, we gotta search here, and there wasn't like a big I think at that time, I remember looking through. So, like when they would send out White Dwarf, you would get sometimes they would start doing the store lists, and I would like look through all of
yeah,
it. Okay, so I only have to go over like 4 states if I want to go to a game because there's like one games workshop. It's like across the
yeah.
country.
There's some
Yeah,
dedication there, right?
yeah, and then so then they would have like the Outriders or whatever they were called at the time, and then you'd go and some would just have a little bit. So it was like this whole thing. So we'd have this. Okay, what hobby stores might carry it, and you'd be like driving around, and every once in a while you would randomly come across like a hobby store you didn't know was there. You know, it'd be like, oh, one's over here. Let's stop in, and so there'd be a couple miracle hobby shops that you'd find and go in, and they'd have 40K.
Yeah, I can remember when. So I'm literally right between two Games Workshops that have been about for ages, but I
Yeah,
can remember when there's Portsmouth and Southampton. I'm like bang in the middle of those two cities. Um, so I always had a choice of which one I like to go to, but I've, they're really nice. Both of them have always been really nice.
yeah,
Um, I think I went into the Portsmouth one first when I was a kid. I always remember they had a sale where they were selling stuff like Tyranid Attack, Mighty Empires,
yeah.
um, Advanced Space Crusade, stuff like that. That was my first time I ever went in there, and I actually bought loads of posters when I was in there as well. The Southampton one I always remember being run by bikers when I was a kid, and I'm never too sure of it now because I was only really little, but
Yeah.
I can remember being allowed to be in there when they were eating fish and chips and their shop was shut. And I'm sure there might have been some herbal cigarettes being smoked as well, but
the good the good old days. Yeah, and they
yeah,
did well because they had the game. I could see that because it kind of like the look of the some of the art blended into it. You know what I mean? With even the orcs kind of look bikery and stuff like that.
yeah. It's just there's a place to hang out, I think, for some people as well. Like,
Yeah.
like if you don't, especially back then, if you didn't feel like comfortable going to pubs or anything like
Hmm.
that, this community was always really accepting, I thought.
Yeah.
Um, we always used to have like a Games Workshop club at my school. It was always a really weird mix because we had like there was us lot we were proper geeky kids, but at the same time in like the top set of year at school, all of the popular kids were also really into it.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It was a really weird mix. Yeah, it was really popular, like with all the popular kids. So I can remember
Oh
some
God, yeah,
kids
that
came
never
into our
happened to
class.
us.
Yeah, some kids came into our class and were like throwing people off this little balcony. They were like bullying everyone. And then when it got to me, they were like, "Nah, he's all right," because I was in their Games Workshop club.
That's funny. That's funny. Gosh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, here, like, I guess in my schools when I went, the first school there was a couple people, a couple kids who I came across D&D first, I think through my cousin and
Yeah.
a couple people at school. So that was, I don't even know what, like I probably was like third grade, fourth grade or something like that, coming across D&D. And then I think I would want to say like not eighth grade, maybe not, maybe my like ninth grade or maybe eighth grade. It was when I came around 40K and we started seeing some stuff over here. And as soon
How
as I
old would you
saw it,
have
it
been?
grabbed me. What was
How
that?
old you be? How old would you be in ninth grade?
Ninth grade. Let me think. For me, 17 was in 12th grade. So 12th, 11th, 16, 15, 14, about 14 in ninth
Yeah.
grade. So it was probably around then, like eighth or ninth grade, when I started coming across Games Workshop. And then it was like, when I found it was like at some comic book store. So they just had a couple boxes of something, you know what I mean? You're just like, oh, well, these are cool, you know? Like, I think I saw like the blisters first or something. I can't remember exactly, but I ended up with some of the metal marines and then some of the plastic beaky boys when they started
Yeah,
coming
yeah, it was
out.
definitely blisters then. Yeah, you couldn't miss the
Yeah.
blisters back then, could you?
Because it was like those first like metal marines, because I got like some of those first ones of those, and then the plastic and
Actually, yeah, I think my first ever Space Marines were Mark 8.
hmm.
I think, like metal ones anyway. They were like completely one piece though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think the only thing you had to put on was like plastic shoulder pads or like and a bolter and the
Yeah,
backpack. The
yeah, because
arms
the,
were like
the first metal ones that I like when I got the first metal ones, they were all one piece, all metal. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it was just like, here's your dude holding the gun, go. You know, it was like, all right.
yeah. I had a lot of older friends when I was a kid. Um, Mainly, my mum used to babysit this lad. He was like 4 years older than me, so he had
Oh
all his toys were always better than mine. Do you know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
was his. It was his fault. To be fair, actually, I don't know where he is now. Actually, but his one of his friends actually is still on Twitter, and he
Oh
was into it as well, and still is into it, which is quite interesting. Like, I haven't spoke to either of them for years, but
yeah, yeah. You just still don't. Yep, that's funny.
yeah, it's his fault. I
Yeah, like
remember he
I
gave me
think.
his orcs from his Space Crusade box set, and I don't think I ever gave them back.
Oh really? Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, my cousin was the one who I think like my cousin was like 7 years older, and so they were already like, he's almost like, I don't know what it was, like pre-college or whatever, and they were playing D&D. So that's like the first time I saw like D&D stuff was like I go over their house for some family get together. I was like, oh, what's this? And I remember
yeah.
in my mind that that stuck in my mind, seeing these like weird fantasy covers in a game, and it was like all these rules, and like I was like, what is this thing? And it was just it captivated me with those games right away. I was like, because of the picture, the art, and like, just the rule books with all this stuff. I was like,
Mm.
oh, what is this? Like that was that. Ever since then, it was like into games.
It's just a nice bit of escapism.
You know,
I've never played D&D actually.
I did when I was a kid. A lot of fun. A good. Still, things go towards my storytelling for stuff I did like as an early teen and younger, playing D&D. You know what I mean? Just scenarios that
Mm.
you just dreamt up when you were playing it, and it kind of like sticks. And I think it was a great tool for just creativity in general. Like I think that's why I gravitated towards just like even what I'm doing now, it's art, but it's still like storytelling. You know what I mean? You're creating an environment around it and trying to get a feel or mood. And I think that stuff always like carried through for me.
Yeah. I think the same applies when I'm making something nasty, like a model. It's
Yeah.
why is that there? What happened to it? Like my Nurgle Knights.
Oh
I
yeah, you can tell you have
try and think of
storytelling.
like what they were like before, like where
Yeah.
they prowled, where they yeah.
And it really does add to it when you do those little, because like, and what's funny is like I've studied a lot of these, and some people I'd like say something like, I can't believe you noticed that. Like it's like a lot of them I'm studying pretty hard when I'm doing like paint
Yeah.
overs and like, hey, what are they doing? And a lot of talented people are in this hobby.
Oh God, there was Richard Gray put out a video yesterday. It's part 2 of his how to paint like a Nurgle Marine, and it is to me, it just looks like a painting. It doesn't even
Yeah.
look like a model. It's
So
so good.
he's ridiculous, and I've seen him liking a number of my tweets with paint overs in them, right? And I had
Yeah,
followed him,
he's a very
and
nice guy.
he had followed me back, and what's so funny is I always see his stuff and I always want to do a paint. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to do it justice right now. Like he has this perfect immaculate painted thing with all the lighting perfect. It's like, okay, to
Yeah.
play this off, I have to light the background, and I can't just like put a bunch of slop there. Like I'd have to like sit down and like paint and structure it and sketch a few things, and like, because I'm like, I want to do Richard Gray, and I'm like, I've always liked this stuff before he even followed me, and I saw him like it, and I'm like, I'll see him like something, like, man, I really should do something with Richard stuff one of these days because it looks so cool to me.
Absolutely.
But it's like so intimidating. I'm like, all right, you got to do it one day though.
Have you seen his Nagash he did?
Yes, yes. Oh gosh, his
Oh God,
lighting. I know it's so ridiculous.
I will say I'm not a regular White Dwarf buyer,
Yeah.
but when that one was in White Dwarf, I bought that. Just had to have a close
For
up of that.
sure. Yeah, that he's kind of legendary to me in my mind as far as like painting miniatures and stuff.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I just saw. I watched the part 2 of his Nurgle video today, and just what's nice about his videos actually is he's not treating you like an idiot.
Yeah.
He's showing you exactly how he does it, and it's actually achievable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you have an understanding, and with the community that I see people working on stuff, it's like, yes, when you can get it to click, I have to check out some of his stuff. There's another one, I forget his name, but he's another amazing painter who paints the similar style. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
they do it would start with the black and then go over it and everything. And I've been watching him, and it helps my brain process. Okay, I see where his artistic approach would match mine. Like, okay, yeah, I'd be trying to achieve that too and
yeah,
stuff. So I should watch more because it give me some better ideas of when I actually go to like paint a model. And I'm like, it's with anything. If people you put in the repetitions of doing it over and over, and you know what I mean? Like, it's like you got
yeah.
a clue. Now just go do it like for 3,000 hours, and you'll be great.
Like I remember a time actually on YouTube when there really wasn't hobby creators.
No.
There was there's a guy who started to do it, and he was doing like the Space Marine project, and it was like each week it would be a new Space Marine he was painting. And I will say it was because of his videos actually that I started painting again. I was
Really?
still I was still buying stuff every now and again, but YouTube became my like I wasn't watching television. I didn't
Yeah.
have a TV, so I wasn't watching TV. But YouTube I was watching a lot of, and hobby stuff was then just starting to appear.
Okay.
Um, Absolutely fantastic. So I found myself in the Games Workshop the following day buying a
Oh,
Dreadnought.
you did really? That's cool.
Like, what am I doing? Can't help it.
Yeah, you got sucked in by a video totally.
Yeah, I was still
Fortune
reading the
bars
book.
made it. This is so weird being on the other side of the screen. Woohoo! Glad you swung by. Hope you had a decent day.
Yeah, what's he been up to today? Was he celebrating the
Just some
Titanic
life stuff. I think we got it right. I think we got it right, for Jamar's, in your honor. This was the Wednesday that Titan. I was about to say Titanfall. That shows you how I'm going to have such. I'm going to have such the worst Alzheimer's or whatever you get when you're older. I'm screwed. Adeptus Titanicus. So I think this is the day. So correct us if I'm wrong. Yeah, the big boy I cleaned up, and I want to start working on it, but I don't. Like I'll have to do some other versions. I'm all half distracted.
Well, it was only fitting as well that you worked on that piece while he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
here today.
Yeah. I didn't know it was good for me. I tweeted out, I'm like, I want someone to join me. I'm like, I haven't talked to anyone like new, and I was like, I was doing more streams with random people, and I got sidetracked. And I put out, I was like, hey, did anyone want to join? And there was a few people who I would have wanted, but I didn't think they would even care. And they were like, hey, yeah, I would be on. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So I'm like, all right. I started like, I got someone for a Sunday probably, and then I think
Yeah,
I'll start having some more on because I love just the input and it charges me up. You know what I mean? I get good creative energy from it, and you get to see other people's projects, and there's some people I got to get back on. There's like other people I'm like, oh man, I want to talk to you again.
yeah,
Yeah. So
definitely.
we were right. Thanks for
It was
reminding
the
me.
third release. Yeah,
Yeah. Third anniversary.
biggest box of Warhammer I think I've ever bought. Actually, it's the biggest box game I think I've got.
It was that. Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, it's a really deep box. It just about fits on my shelves.
Oh wow. That even makes you feel like you got something.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
so many they have so many boxes. It still blows my mind. Like I still can't. Like I remember collecting. Like okay, you'd be waiting like a long ass time, like a years. Like you'd be like, oh, I want miniatures for this to come out. It's like okay, well, in a couple years maybe I'll get it. Like, and the releases weren't coming out like every week. Oh, here's like all these models. Here's all the. I'm like, I can't believe they can release on that schedule. Blows my mind.
Oh, actually, I've got a question for Lee actually because I'm having a bit of a flashback. Lee, were you playing 30K with your Emperor's Children with Andy at the Weekender?
Oh, that's right.
Because
You guys are
you,
all
you posted some pictures of your Dreadnoughts today, and they were very familiar.
Lee's. This is Lee's too. I love. This is one of my favorites, and Lee took a photo. Let me find it. I don't think I deleted it. I don't know if I think I'm too far back there. Oh, this one.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. That photo was one of my all-time favorite photos I've seen of miniatures. And yeah, he said, "Yep, that was him."
Ah, yeah, I thought it was.
Small world. I don't. I guess he said that. Is it the Titan Walk? I'm forgetting the name. We talk about it every week. This is how bad I am. We talk
That's just
about it every
Titanic.
week, and then I can't remember the name of it, like the Titan Walk or the Titan. But that's this weekend. 7K aside of Iron Hands in 2019.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Is it fun? I see. I want to see a battle like that, and I want to. I'd have to watch and pay attention because I want to see if it's a good battle. Like, is it a good
It was
fight?
good fun. Actually, to be fair, that was what I did that night. I watched you guys play that game. Like,
Interesting.
it was really good fun. I don't think anything else was really going. There was a few games going on in the room, um, but that was the big one right down the end. Yeah, I remember the your army.
See, look at this. My co-host is known, and people know him. Wow, I'm a nobody. I have no hobby, whatever. Like,
Oh,
never went and played games with anybody. People talk about, they're like, hey, I'll just see people's takes on like gaming or something, and some of it it's not that strange. It's just that it was different when I did it because I didn't even
Yeah,
like think about playing with someone you didn't know. Like that wasn't even a concept. It was like, oh, you gotta see someone who knows how to play, and then they're gonna have to know it, and like, are they gonna have an army, and you gotta like call each other and arrange a game. So like the concept of like just meeting someone you didn't know and playing a game at like a place was just like I didn't. That wasn't really a thing.
weekend has always been quite nice because most people know each other there. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, mainly at the time, I think Facebook groups probably helped people
Oh
communicate with
yeah, I'm
each
sure
other.
all that
And then
stuff did.
the weekend is such a small community because it's such a small event. You make friends while you're there. Actually, my bestest friends I met when I was at the weekender.
Oh really? That's
Yeah,
cool.
Moggy's miniatures, Craig Pickup, War Master painting.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
met them
Oh
all.
god, yeah.
Met them all in the smoking area.
Well, yeah. Oh god, yeah. You hang out, and then they got all the. You meet the people there who are like really into it, and then they have all the cool stuff, so you get to be around awesome miniatures and see great stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It was some really cool people. Um, Obviously, I met Lee. Right.
Yeah, no, and that's what I ended up. I'm not even. What's funny is this is so not my. Like, I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not really a people person per se. But like, I love this. Like, I talk to people about hobby. It's like, oh, okay, I get to nerd out. I didn't get to like talk.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I don't really. You have a couple friends who are kind of into stuff, but even they're not. When I'm working on it every day and looking in at it and all that stuff, it's fun to like, hey, what about this? And everyone I talk to knows more about the lore than me. You know what I mean? So I get to like get tidbits of like everything that they kind of know. And oh, this went on and that went on and.
yeah. Actually, it was quite nice today. I was explaining to someone else today about Chaos Gods, um, which someone that wasn't interested in that before,
Yeah.
and then a little bit of explaining about Chaos Gods, and you can kind of how interesting they are. Like, I think they'd be interesting to anybody.
Yeah, I know. And if you get to see them in the right context, and where is that going to be? Okay, there'll be some sort of. I think maybe the explosion should be right. See, theoretically, he has a dark torso. I should almost have the explosion like more directly behind his torso, but I like having it down low. I don't know. So I know, like, at least I have a clue as to what the background shapes will be, but I'll have to make them a lot cooler and a
Yeah,
lot. I'll change the perspective and stuff, but I don't know if I should have his torso is darker, so it makes me want the light there, but then the light is kind of like dead center in the middle of the picture, and I don't know how I feel about that.
oh yeah. You and Andy both
Maybe.
use the same method for painting Emperor's Children. Andy's such a nice guy. He is such a nice guy. Like, if it wasn't for Andy, we wouldn't probably be having Necromunda in the manner of it is.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic bloke.
I usually get named and shamed in the seminars.
Someone's got it.
Only an entity. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, no. This is Harriet. So I was telling about the Chaos Gods today.
Oh, see, there you go. Preaching the preaching the good false gospel or whatever.
I'm not telling her to worship any vine. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
oh, I do have my favourite.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's explaining about the major four, the major
Oh
four
yeah,
gods.
I know. They get all into the major four, and then they even get their little chaos undivided, and I think, and I always thought like doing conversions because there are other like quote unquote chaos gods out there. Like you know what I mean? So like you could
There's a
totally just
fifth, isn't there?
yeah, you could fit almost anything in.
And he's a beautiful human being and a great friend. Yeah, 100% with you on that.
What? See, what
He's
was
always really accommodating at events, Andy. He'll tell you pretty much anything you need to know. Like,
What would
So
I
there's a few people in the studio. There's another one as well, Mark Bedford. I can't fault Mark Bedford as a human being. He's just such a nice bloke. And if it wasn't for Mark Bedford, I was really stuck painting. Actually, I didn't know how I was meant to approach World Eaters, but Mark Bedford just literally went, "Do this," and it was so easy.
And it all made
Yeah.
sense.
So I know Mark and Andy work really well.
And I'm glad. Yeah, thank you for making it today too. I was so happy. I was like, oh yeah, I had you on before, so I knew. I was like, okay, cool. Like I was glad you replied. I'm like, awesome. I was geeked right away. I was like, okay, that cheered me up. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna be doing the podcast long. Like, let me put something out there. And you reply, I'm like, oh yes, I've been looking forward to talking to him. So this will work out.
Yeah. Well, I'm normally free most evenings. We normally have a hobby hangout. So it's normally like Moggy and Craig. We discuss all aspects of the hobby, things we don't like, things we do like,
the
things that other people don't like that we like.
Yeah. Undo. A lot of undo buttons.
It's sometimes nice as well because sometimes all of us are painting as well when we're on a hangout.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Get a little bit of like a studio atmosphere. I missed that.
So this was in our group as well. Like start of lockdown, we all had sort of like a collective idea because I just spent out a lot of money on a Zone Mortalis board. That we would make lockdown armies. So 1,000 points, Horus Heresy. I still haven't finished mine. I've done one model. I've got Leaky Cheese to write me the list though. So my mind went blank when I was trying to think of what I'm going to do. So I'd done your Nurgle robots at the same time I was getting the list written.
Okay.
So I was thinking, well, actually, yeah, it's going to be mechanical. So send Leaky Cheese a message again. I know he's a list man. He loves lists. So
who does the lists?
Leaky Cheese.
Oh, okay. Because I'm a list person. Oh my god, I used to spend so much time making the endless lists, dude.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Oh, really? I
need someone else to do it for me now.
Days. I've done it for like one. I've come up with like you're doing like a 2,000 point army and you have 1,999, and then to spend that 1 point, I would recycle through and adjust like all the stuff just to like eke that 1 point out, and, like rearrange everything. Be like so crazy.
Well, if you ever want to make me a list, mate.
Oh, dude, yeah, I probably would. Don't even tell me.
Yeah, my brain just does not want to do the math anymore.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm happy to play the game.
Yeah. And I totally get that too, because that's how I feel about like a lot of different like stuff or whatever. It's like, yeah, you gotta take the part you enjoy the most.
Modeling, painting.
Yeah.
I guess. Moggy is an awesome fellow. He is an awesome fellow. And yeah, he won was it best vehicle, I think, at the last weekend with that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could see that.
Yeah,
he had great stuff.
They didn't get Golden Demons. They won a different type of award. I'm not even the Golden Demon, but it's even more rare.
Yeah, just for a different award for a different type of event. Yeah.
My friend Nate won. He won like best overall miniature as well. He painted a Raboot Guilliman.
Okay.
And it was just in the cabinet, and there was some fantastic work in that cabinet. But straight away, your eyes
take pictures of cabinets, and I'm like, I've never been in that. You know, I'm like, damn, I should have done it. Well, I probably wasn't close enough.
Actually, I think Chaptermaster Valrak did a little quick live stream of the last Horus Heresy. You can see my foot in that video, actually, but you can also see Moggy putting in that Warbringer Titan in the case, and a bit of it broke off. We just noticed there was a bit missing.
Oh, dude.
You can see him in this video just on the floor, like freaking out. Will Hay designs that. said to Moggy at the event about the bit that was missing, to replace it for him. I don't know what it is. Moggy's still never done it.
Yeah.
But he's still got his Warbringer. So he painted a Warbringer Titan for a friend of his,
Okay.
and then his friend actually gave it back to him.
Really?
Said you can sell it, but
oh wow.
this is for you. Gave it back, so you got a free Warbringer. Fair enough.
Yeah, how cool is that? Every time I talk to you guys, I need new friends. I need better friends. I'm seeing some of my friends, I think, next week, so I want to lay into it. Like, where's my stuff? These guys are getting each other Titans and Warhounds. Like, a person I never even met sent me awesome miniatures. What do you guys do for me? Yeah, so I'm going to have a talk with them. But then, fair enough, I didn't paint them any miniatures either, so maybe I'm the bad person.
If they
maybe I
hadn't,
better check myself.
and you can't get a better present than a paint over, mate. To be fair,
I'm gonna do. I've been working on like some T-shirts. So even though this one, well, I'm just trying.
yeah,
Yeah, not this on there, but so I've been working on. This one would go on a shirt. That's kind of the more finished one, and I know I gotta. That's kind of how it would be. And I was trying to do that, and I have a couple simple ones. I want to do a kind of range because I don't know. And I ordered some because like I gotta see if I like them. They're louds, right? So I'm doing these. I'm just doing loud. I'm like, dude, go for it, because a lot of times I would be like, well, who's gonna want something really loud or really like this? And I would talk myself out of it, like doing it before. But now I'm like, dude, if you have the instinct and you're thinking it and you think it's cool, do it. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, this one is kind of simple, and I don't have a picture of the finished one, I don't think. But I have it in a full mock-up view, and I like it. I'm like, okay, it's simple, but it's still kind of cool. And I'm like, I think I would wear it. I'm like, I would put it on if like gaming. So I have to get them. So because I have to make, I don't wear hardly anything with something printed on it. You know what I mean? I very rarely do. And so it's odd for me in that sense, because it's like I have to make myself happy because I can't shill a product I don't like. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if I didn't like it and I didn't think it was cool, I couldn't be like, here, wear this shirt that I think is stupid.
Yeah, I've never been into brands. Like,
Yeah.
Very rarely will I wear anything with a brand.
Yeah,
but
and that's
cool imagery. I like that.
And the thing is, I figure with this one would be the shirt. I did this one, and I don't know. I got it printed, and I don't know if it's too sloppy. And
no, I like that. I tell you why I like that. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I knew what was going to come next.
So I think it was like this. So that the dotted area is what's really on the front. You know what I mean? And like the safe cut areas to the back. And so I didn't know if it's too sketchy. Wait, where's the finished version? I think this is the more. I don't know why it's coming in. Wait. No, I guess that's it. So yeah, and I don't know if it's too like sketchy and how to print. I'm like, okay, I kind of some of it in this style I want sketchy because I don't want it to be like a vector graphic. You know what I mean? I want it more like, if it's anything, it's like a little more painted. So it's like I know there's some stuff I want to try, and it's like, I guess in the artistic sense, you're like, I haven't found my voice yet. So like, but with what I want to like do with shirts, so I can. I'm thinking like layer two, I have like simple, like clean, like just little line work ones, almost just subtle designs. You know what I mean? Where it's not really loud. And then obviously you have like crazy loud ones like this. You know what I mean? So like, just try some stuff. I won't have to have an inventory, because I'll be like basically print on demand, And so I'm like, try some stuff that you want to do, and, order some and see if it looks cool to you. And then, because I'm like, get some stuff out there for, Christmas time and for that type of season, I'm like, sell some stuff. Why isn't, okay, there we go. But yeah.
Who are you thinking of getting them made by?
Getting a what?
Who are you thinking of getting them produced by? Your match?
There's a couple print, so it'd be print on demand, and I'm probably going with Printful. So I have it set up with them, and I can. So in Printful too, they have a place in Europe, so they at least ship from over there to anyone in the
Yeah,
UK too. So I like, have both sides kind of covered. And the thing that they'll be expensive, but I guess I'm not. I don't even care. Like to me, it's to put them up, and some
yeah.
people will buy a couple on that because I think the shirt alone. So of course I go. I tried it. I've bought a couple shirts from there before, and I really like the shirts because they give you nice name brand whatever shirts. And I have two of them being sent to me that I printed on. They're not Under Armour, but it's that type of fabric, like one of those type
Okay.
of thinner shirts. So like in that shirt is like $28 just for the shirt. You know what I mean? So then you're talking. I'm like, dude, it might be like $45, but I'm like, hey, it is what it is. I'm like, I get it, but like, and I was thinking of like the markup. I gotta have a decent enough markup because all it takes is someone to like not receive it, or if it's printed janky and I got to reimburse it, I would be like down 4 or 5 shirts. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to sell 4 or 5 just to replace one. So I'm like, yeah, I got to like,
Yeah.
you just mark that price up and then it is what it is.
Lee's got 2 T-shirts with your paintovers on for his Titan Walk.
Oh, did you? It is a Titan Walk. That'd be cool. I want to see some
He's
pictures.
going to have a new T-shirt soon, though, it's like.
What was that?
He's going to have another T-shirt soon, though.
Yeah.
And this
I want to do
time.
some good ones. Lee does some cool stuff. He's always like talking down. He's one of these people too, like like half talks down his paint job, even though they're really good.
Yeah, oh, very good.
Yeah, they are.
And
He's
he gets it done.
he did a. I saw on his Instagram. I think it was today, and I never saw him. He put I don't know how many pictures, like 6 or 8. Like I don't know if it's like a full art because he has 100 Titans, dude. So like you know what I mean. There's probably like 6 pictures or 8 pictures, and I don't know how many Titans were in each one, but it was like a lot. You know what I mean? I was just like, dude, that was just like such a massive force of Titans. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, God. Yeah, and I moaned about painting like I think one warlord just recently. I cursed myself when I was painting that. I did that. I did a Nurgle one.
Oh yeah.
Trying to do the trim, just wanting to end it.
We're gonna get there, Crimson. I gotta try. And then like for the Patreon supporters, I'm gonna give them a good deal. So that'll be like part of it. Like, hey, if you want to buy merch instead of that, I'll make like a
That's a
little
good
bit of
idea.
profit on it, but not get down as much. Maybe I make like $5 on it or something. Like, all right, you get like you're helping
Yeah,
support the month to month. So then, hey, get a cool deal on something that way. Because I'm like, all right, I have to. That's a little bit of a problem when you're like totally freestyling your life. It's like you got to schedule it. It's like, well, I don't have to like get a deadline for a shirt, but I know it's like, well, hey, if you're not selling merchandise, you're never going to try or make any of that money. So like start, doing it. So I'm trying to be like, all right, if I can get out like 2 designs a month, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, if you can try to, which is kind of hard because I'm so nitpicky with that stuff and overthink it and everything else. I'm
yeah,
like, oh, I don't, do I like it? Do I not? But it's like I'm trying to do the same thing I did with paint overs and just like get it done. Get it cool, get it done. Don't overthink it. Like you're not. I'm not buying tons of like I don't have to order 1,000 shirts for the design. So it's like just put it on there, put it out, and like you'll get feedback and figure it out. That's the plan,
no,
anyway.
that's a good idea. Like maybe each month something new.
Yeah, yeah, and then keep through, and then I have a lot to learn. I'll get good feedback, see where people like. You know what I mean? I'll try different things. Try a bunch of different stuff, and then figure it out. Because everyone's been so cool in this community, so whatever. Like, if you can't
I do love
try,
it.
yeah, I'm like I gotta try with this because this community's been so nice. Like you get good feedback, and I learn a lot and all that kind of stuff. So
I do love it when you're out and about and you do see someone wearing a Warhammer style T-shirt.
Yeah.
I remember someone came into my shop that I was in, and they had the Chaos 8 pointed star T-shirt. I couldn't help but say something like,
Yeah, you have to. I know, I know.
"Yeah, I know your secret."
Yeah, I know your secret. We're
Yeah,
on
I
to
had,
you.
I've got the Horus Heresy Weekender bag, and that has obviously got the big eye Horus on the back of it.
Yeah.
Uh, Occasionally, people will make comments about it, and I'll just go, "Shh."
Shh. They got some cool uh the mugs. So that's the other thing. Like I love the idea of mugs. I don't know.
Hmm.
And I like, and the thing is, you you see it a lot with the a lot of designs. The mug printers, they don't print on the very top of the rim of the cup, right? So there's
No,
almost like a border of white on a lot of them. And I cannot stand, like, I would love to do equivalent of like a paint over an image, but then that white border would drive me nuts, dude. So I couldn't, like, to me, if you just set it with that white border, it's like, oh, I might as well just smash that cup because I'd be so pissed off.
I've got a Van Sar mug that I bought at one of the events. So it's my only Necromunda mug. And that's got a white rim, but that's when you look at the whole thing, it's part of the design.
See,
Like
that's what
it works. Like
that's what I want to go for. So when I design mine, I have to design it in. You know what I mean? To play with
yeah,
that negative white space so that it goes into it, and then I would feel good. But like if I just did like an image around, I'm like, okay, I got to use the white space. You know what I mean, as the negative space to hold the image, and because I'm like, and I haven't put in enough time of like some sketches and what I like, and because when you're like your free flow, it's like, do I do this? Do I do a fantasy castle? Do I do an action scene? Do I do something dark? Do I, it's like too many options,
as well as if you're doing a mug, the ratio of the picture is going to be a lot different to what you're doing normally as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, because it's going to be longer, which is fine.
Yeah,
It's the horizontal, and I like that format because it also lends itself to YouTube videos. So when I do the time lapse, if it's
yeah,
horizontal, it fits nice in there. And like that's the other thing is like half this. If it's taller, I use the short time lapse and use like YouTube Shorts, so it's like on your phone in that format, so you
yeah.
see it. And then if it's horizontal, I usually play it slower and put it on the longer YouTube things. So I try to keep going
Do you
with
find
it.
YouTube's algorithms kind to you?
I will put it this way: kinder than I thought they would be. Like,
Hmm.
um, the shorts do great for me. They'll pump out a short for me and they'll toss it out there for more people to see.
Yeah,
Um, so sometimes they'll get up to like 1,000 views or over 1,000 views on a short, which my normal long form content never gets that. Um, the live show does in general much better than I thought it would. You know what I mean? And plus, I like talking to the people, and then the
yeah,
tutorial series does good right now. Like it keeps climbing and it keeps like, it keeps getting views. The thing is like I've eased off like the last week and a half. I'm like, oh, I can't be doing that. Like I got to get my, videos out and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, it's going to take me another at least year before I'm even sniffing monetization. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you gotta like pay your dues. It's like at least I'm old enough where I don't have any delusions. Like, oh hey, I'm gonna just do this and hop in. And it's like, dude, you're gonna be putting out hundreds of videos and then hoping.
yeah, totally right. But some of us can say, "Well, we were there at the beginning."
Yeah, yeah. And so, and I'll see. I'm like, I have some ideas. Like, my content has to get better as far as like just clean some stuff up, have like what I talk about sometimes on the video, not just the music, a little more editing quality and a little more
Hmm.
like thoughtful with the process and stuff like that. So for me, a lot of it was, hey, just get comfortable at first putting any video out because I never wanted to do it. I wasn't like, oh, I got to be a YouTuber. I was like, so a lot of this was just to get comfortable, like talking and that, and then, kind of go from there. And I'm having fun doing it, and it does. people will find me through YouTube, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I could,
Oh god, yeah.
you know, if I
Are you
if if I
are you
keep,
on the TikTok yet?
am I on what, TikTok?
Are you on that TikTok yet? Sorry,
What's
just trying
funny
to
is I am on
boomer it's
TikTok, but I only
possible then.
posted like 3 or 4 times, and then people are like, "Dude, post your short videos on there for 30 seconds."
Yeah,
And you mine, they'll lose people because it's literally like just the paint over. So it's like I need some little like catchy things in between to keep people's attention span. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
something to break. So I have to come up with that, but it's like I still think I'm doing better than I thought I would be by a far shot. So, but then, I mean,
That's
some
the
people
thing.
would say, "No, dude, no one's seeing shit. Like your like, YouTube channel isn't doing much at all." But to me, it is. It's like a lot farther along than I thought it would be.
It's good. I haven't downloaded TikTok, mate.
I
I'm not there yet.
No, I can't play. I rarely will get into following TikTok. Which first is, dude, I was the type of person who, when they started YouTube, I'm like, who's gonna watch dumb videos made by someone else of like whatever? I'm like, who's like, that's the stupidest thing. And then when they're like, oh, there's Twitch and you can watch someone game, like that is so stupid. Why wouldn't I just game myself? Like, who wants to watch someone play a video game? That's the dumbest thing I heard of. And of course, it's like the most massive successful thing ever in
Yeah,
the
no,
world.
I'm 100% the same as you, my mate. Like I always thought the same. Why would anyone want to watch anybody play computer games?
Yeah, yeah, dude.
And
And
what do? I
yeah,
watch people play computer games.
and so I was like, okay, I have to broaden my horizons and like just I did good. I would do some teaching stuff, and I would always get good response on that and like personal
Yeah,
interaction. I'm like, well, if I can translate a little of that into YouTube, and I'm like, if you grind away at anything for a couple years, you know what I mean, you'll get better at it. And I was already like prepared, you know, like, oh, all right, if I had the content and I'm like, well, I'm not going to stop doing this. You know what I mean? So I'm like, the content will keep coming that I can post on the videos and stuff. So, you know, you never know till you try.
yeah. I've had a YouTube channel for a long time, but never ever done anything with it.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of it is they don't really promote. Okay, unless you're really somebody, you know what I mean, and like you have a following somewhere. Like I was like, you know, small person with no real following, so you're not like getting any clout from anywhere else. But um, it would start growing, and so I was thought it was like, you know, it was going good, and it is to me. I got like, I think it's close to 700 followers right now. And I think
Yeah,
at 1,000, I get the little community thing where you can like chat and do stuff on YouTube with your people a little differently. Like not just during live stream, but you can have like a, not like a forum, but you know, just like where they can come and post and that stuff. So I figure that'll
it's
help
a
when I get to
community
1,000.
page, isn't it? Kind of
Yeah,
like that.
community page. And when I've looked up on it, you have to put out a lot of content before they start to figure out, before the algorithm really like starts pushing you out more. You know, they want to see a body of work before they really start promoting you, you know. I should do a lot better, and it pays off, but I'm either just lazy about it or undisciplined about it, whatever. But the the more popular topics. You know what I mean? So like when a box set drops, I should be taking one of the pictures from GW and painting it over, and then
Yep.
using the YouTube algorithm because it's a popular search term to boost it. You know what I mean? So that's the game, because I've done it a couple times with just keywords like my Emperor Spears is probably one of the smaller chapters, but it gets me some of the
Mm.
most views because there wasn't a lot of content out there about the Emperor Spears, and then like an article or a book or whatever came out,
Aaron's
and
book.
then yeah, so it drove traffic consistently to that. Where when someone searches Emperor Spears or whatever, it has a chance of getting like posted in that. So I
Yeah.
was kind of seeing, you know, some of that stuff. So it's like I got to start playing the game some. Playing the game.
Well, when's Kill Team out? Is it next weekend?
Oh, I don't even see. That's how shows you what I know because I thought it was
I
out.
don't know when it gets posted, but I've definitely bought one.
Oh, we should. Yeah, you definitely like. I should do. See, that's what I should do. I should have a Kill Team one, and then people submit pictures of Kill Team, and then I should post it on there
Yeah.
right away, just to
Well,
get.
I believe this Saturday, actually, I know on the Warhammer community page this Saturday they're showing off like one of the Warhammer Plus animations,
Oh yeah,
which I think is an Orc one, Orc and Imperial Guard.
yeah. I'll have to. I should. I gotta sign up for that. I definitely will.
Yeah, I think it is actually this weekend. The pre-orders for you can sign up for it this weekend, I think,
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna
and
be
get that
curious.
sweet assassin model.
I know. Wasn't that thing stunning?
Yeah,
That was so cool.
yeah, I kind of want that. Well, I
I
will have it.
I know. I can't blame you on that. I was like, okay, yeah, they got it. They're gonna.
Thing is, that Orc's a really nice model too.
It
Uh,
is. It's just
but
that they're both really good. It's just one has that extra little lightning in a bottle factor. You know, it's like doing art. Like sometimes I'll do good stuff, and like sometimes you just hit it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, everything worked out on that. It's just epic. You know.
absolutely. Have you done any paintovers of assassins?
You know. Oh wait, one. I think one. Oh,
Do you? I think you've done a Vindicator, haven't you?
this one. Oops.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Calidus Assassin.
Yeah,
No, it's not the Calidus.
I don't
Kulik.
think I did a. It
Something
might.
like that.
I forget what kind of conversion that one is, but I don't think I have.
He's the psychic one.
Yeah, the psychic one.
Oh, there's Craig's tank that you did for me.
Oh yeah. Wah. That thing is
Yeah,
epic.
I
I need
I
to.
got
How much
that
does that thing
printed.
cost?
Oh, that right. So they don't sell that tank anymore, probably because of that exact one there. When Craig bought that, one side of it was really horribly miscast. So they're a bit back and forth with Forge World, and eventually they got him a clean cast, which is that model there. But
Okay.
the model was taken off the website immediately after. And it's never come back in stock.
That's kind of cool though when you have one like that.
Yeah, occasionally though you will buy a model from Forge World, and you'll pull a bit of the mold out. So you know that the next person that's getting it after you is probably going to have a slip somewhere. But it's the nature of the beast. Can't be helped.
Yeah. I gotta do some
I mean,
more
I've,
3D ones.
I've had some poor casts from Forge World before, but
Oh
they've always been
yeah,
really
there's almost no
accommodating.
way around it. Just the material
Yeah,
alone.
they've always been really accommodating to me though. Like whenever I've had like something
Hmm.
really poor, they have always fixed it.
Yeah, and some of it you like if you have this hobby experience, you know what that material is. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, you're gonna
Yeah,
get some little warp and all that. But sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, this warp is not correctable.
I will say. I mean, I am a bit of a fiend. I will buy stuff on eBay and then hope to God that it's okay. Like, and sometimes it's not. You know, you think if I just bought that direct, I could get this fixed.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Because then there's no recourse.
But yeah, no, I took a punt on something actually on eBay. I'll show you. I don't. I'm convinced it's real. I hope it's real. Anyway, like because it cost me a lot of money. But I haven't. I've never seen any fake ones as far as I'm aware. You ever seen one of them?
Oh gosh, it's been a long time. I have seen it, but
Yeah,
wow.
I saw that going. I think it cost me £130. But
Yeah. Super
the
cool though.
bits where the resin is clean and it doesn't have that cancer smell to it.
Okay.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Like whether or
Yeah.
not it can
That's a
be
cool
destined
barrel
for
on
trade.
that thing. That thing's
Oh,
awesome.
it's a lovely gun. It's a really lovely gun on that.
Yeah, that's gonna be epic to paint on that. Well,
Yeah,
man, I think it's time. I gotta go deal with a few things, so I think we'll end the stream here.
All right, mate. Well,
So,
thank you for keeping me entertained for an evening.
no, man, thank you for joining. So then we'll have to do this again, not
Anytime.
necessarily on a Wednesday, but we'll pick some other day or whatever. I don't know, a couple weeks or something, whenever you want, and we'll have to do it again.
Well, if Lee needs any time off, mate,
Yeah,
I can't do your
right
job.
on.
If
Good.
you
I'll
want
keep it
time
in
off,
mind
I can't do
too.
that.
Because yeah. Well, thanks for everyone who joined, and you guys have a good night. I am going to hit end right now. Let me end
Adios.
that stream.